Oh, I should play it again. I should play it again. I'm not really done laughing at you, dummies. Not really done laughing at you, dummies, yet. I'm tempted to play the damn thing again. Tempted to play the damn thing again. Guess what? Texas A&M's about to kick off against the Corn Doggers. Man. Speaking of teams that aren't any good, how's my LSU fans doing? Y'all okay? We're going to watch Tennessee and Vandy, Notre Dame and Southern Cal, and LSU and Texas A&M. That's what we going to do. That's what we going to do. Look at Oregon out here trying to lose. Just under 5 minutes to go in the Oregon State game. What do they call that? The silverware? Just under 5 minutes to go in the silverware. Oregon State 38, Oregon 34. Yeah. Now, I went to the Georgia game today, which was at noon. So I was unable to watch any of the noon games. So I don't know what happened with Ohio State or Clemson. I've got the games DVR'd. I'm going to watch them later. So whatever you do, don't spoil it in the comment section by typing out if Ohio State got humiliated or if Clemson lost to the Shamecock. Whatever you do, don't point that out over and over again in the comment section, okay? Whatever you do, don't do that. Ben Swaggerty, thought your voice would be gone after UJ whipped the nerds. Good morning, Lou. Well, it's a little rough. But I'm a trooper. I'm going to try to hang in there tonight for you as long as I can. LSU, Texas A&M just underway. No score. Corn Doggers have the ball at the 45, 1st and 10. No gain on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Tennessee and Vandy come on at 7:30, as do Notre Dame and Southern Cal. Those are the three games I'll be keeping an eye. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on all the games, but those are the three I'll be watching this evening. How's everyone doing? Where's my Ohio State people at? Do they want to come in here and eat their crow, or what do they want to do? LSU gains about 5 or 6 yards on 2nd down. It looks like 3rd and 5 coming up now for the Corn Dogs. Damn, Uncle Lou, you lost your voice. Well, I'm hanging in there. A lot of yelling today. Ryan Day equals John Cooper 2.0. That's a damn shame if that's true. Oregon on 3rd and goal from the 2. Can't get in. It's going to be 4th and goal. Incomplete pass for LSU on 3rd down. It's going to be 4th and 5. Oh, hey, they're showing Georgia's highlights of where they beat the shit out of Georgia Tech today. This ought to be good. Unbelievable. Damn. Georgia really is the best team in the country. By a country fucking mile. Wow. You're a fake Georgia fan. Yeah, but I know how to spell your, though. But yeah, I'm a fake Georgia fan. I'm not a real one. I play a pretend one. You figured it out. Unless someone fans the exact same way you do, they're not a real fan. And I definitely don't fan the way you do. So, yeah, you figured it out, buddy. The Great Pellet says, the Uncle Lou and everyone else, I didn't disappear. We got embarrassed 45-23. So there are, shout out to the Ohio State fans who are showing up and aren't hiding. To be honest with you, there ain't much reason. Well, I could understand Ohio State fans hiding today, but they'll be back soon because breaking news, this just into the Uncle Lou news desk. Ohio State not out of the playoffs. Probably. So, in fact, as it turns out, Ohio State might be so lucky as to get their ass beat by Georgia in the first round. Raj says, my man, can I get a go Dogs? Oh, yeah, go Dogs in that, Raj. Go Dogs. Hung out with Raj and his son today at the game. So that was good. Yeah, now if TCU and Southern Cal went out, Ohio State's done, yeah. Right now, if everyone wins out from now on, it'll be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Southern Cal. But if TCU or Southern Cal lose, then it's possible Ohio State could get back in. I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm here. I don't want the playoff. Well, you might get it. You might get it. You might get it. Especially if Southern Cal loses, that gives them 2 losses. You'd probably be in ahead of them for sure. TCU with 1 loss would be close, but TCU beat the bejesus out of Iowa State today. Were you pissed in the first half? Yes, of course I was. Of course I was. Yes. Yeah, Oregon didn't get it on 4th and goal from the 2. Zach Schaefer says, I am Ohio State fan. Are you a real one? Or a fake one? Is there a path for Chess Hall to get back in? No. There's no path wide enough for that, sir. Kaiser Seagull says, go blue, UJ versus Michigan in the Natty. We own the Suckeyes. Yeah, Georgia and Michigan look like 2 best teams. 1st and 10 for Texas A&M on their own 27-yard line. Back to throw. Sets up a screen pass. Has some blockers up close to the first down marker before he's shoved out of bounds. So Oregon State has the ball. Oregon went for it on 4th and goal from the 2. Didn't get it. Oregon State takes over. It's now 2nd and 6 on the 7. There's 2:15 to go. Oregon's only got 1 timeout. So 1 first down and this thing is probably over. They pick up about 4 or 5 yards on 2nd down. So we're going to have a 3rd and short coming up for Oregon State. If they pick up this first down, be just about game over. They just took their final timeout with 2:08 to go. 1st and 10 for the Aggies. They're going to hand this one off. Bounces to the outside. Finds some room. Up close to midfield. Picks up another first down before he's body slammed down around the 46 or 47-yard line. Go Dogs, Lou, and do you think the Gumps can get in? It would still take a couple more losses for the Gumps to get in, so for now I would say no. Nick Koenig says it hurts seeing the physicality being regressed. Talking about Ohio State, I don't know if it's been regressed. It appears to be about the same amount of soft as it was last year, which is really, really soft. Chance, thank you for the super chat. He says, Alabama standing at the sidelines for now. Hopefully chaos ensues. Good second half for UGA, Lou. Yeah, they played better in the second half. I still would like an explanation about what's going on with the passing game and Stetson Bennett. But it's just weird that we never throw the ball downfield. Like maybe there's literally only 2 or 3 times in a game where we throw the ball more than 5 yards downfield. It's just strange. I'm not even necessarily complaining about it, more than just wondering why that is. It's just a little weird, and it's been even more so the case the last couple of weeks. And I can report because I was there. It was neither cold nor windy in Athens, Georgia today. Did you like the game experience?
It was amazing. Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time. We got up there about 7:30 this morning, walked around for about an hour, went in the bookstore for a while, walked around down by the bridge and all that. Got to the dog walk early so we could get a good spot for the dog walk since she's never been. I don't always go to the dog walk anymore when I go to the games just because I've been to so many. But since she'd never been, we made sure we got to the dog walk early. Had a front row, well, not a seat. There are no seats, but front row standing right there for the dog walk. Then we went and hung out on the bridge for about an hour or so, and then headed into the stadium around 11. No, Lou Jr.'s in New York for Thanksgiving. He's been in New York all week for Thanksgiving. Hartline should be the offensive coordinator. Day can't call his mom. Damn. I'm assuming that's true, but I I don't know. Shout out to everybody I met up there today too. I can't possibly remember everybody's name, but I met a ton of people up there today. Everybody was really, really nice. Took a bunch of pictures. Met a bunch of nice people. So shout out to all of you. And to the 2 or 3 people on the road that were honking the horn at me and yelling Uncle Lou out the window, shout out to y'all too. Shout out to y'all too.
I mean, we're literally driving down I-20. And someone passing honking and rolls down their windows.
Yeah. Chance-tastic says, even if chaos ensues for Bama, it all depends what the committee thinks. 2 close losses versus 1 blowout plus where the losses happened. Yeah. Yeah. What are Alabama's best wins now? Ohio State's got the Notre Dame win and the Penn State win, so that's going to be 2 top 15 wins. What are Alabama's best wins now? Ole Miss. Is Ole Miss Alabama's best win? They're 8-4. What's Alabama's best win? Texas? Ole Miss and Texas? So Ohio State's got 2 better wins than Alabama does. They've got 1 less loss than Alabama does, but their 1 loss is a worse loss than either of Bama's. I would give the edge to Ohio State there, but it's going to be close, I guess. Fans are storming the field. Oh, yeah, Oregon State game just ended. Oregon State 38, Oregon 34. Clemson rushed the field today. Clemson fans stormed the field after they lost to South Carolina. Did y'all see that? Clemson fans stormed the field today after losing to South Carolina. I don't know what's worse, storming the field after beating a terrible South Carolina team or storming the field after losing to a terrible South Carolina team. What do y'all think is worse? Storming the field after losing to a terrible South Carolina team, which Clemson did today, or storming the field if you beat a terrible South Carolina team? Which would be worse? Billy Boy, thank you for the super chat. Hold on, what's that say? Was the Uber lady filming you? Was that your Mustang? Yeah, that was her filming, and yes, that was my car. Lou, what did you think about the Missouri-Arkansas game last night? I didn't watch 1 second of it, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't watch 1 second of the Missouri-Arkansas game. Devin A-Chain, or whatever his name is, just scored a touchdown for Texas A&M. And what do you know? LSU is losing to the worst Texas A&M team in 20 years. You think Alabama gets in if TCU and USC lose 1 game? If USC loses, maybe. I don't know about if TCU loses. I don't know about that. What happens if LSU loses this game? Nothing. LSU's already the best team in the West. They wrapped the West up 2 weeks ago. That's how bad the SEC West is. LSU locked up the West 2 weeks ago, so it doesn't matter if they win or lose this game. They're in the SEC championship next week. LSU's losing to Georgia next week, whether they win or lose tonight. It's not going to change that. Bama versus Clemson in the Orange Bowl, that would be a good one. The best wins for Bama is Texas, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. Okay, so 3 wins over average teams. Okay. Well, Ohio State's got 2 wins that are way better than any of those, so. Bama just not that good this year. Yeah, that's an unfortunate fact, but it's a fact nonetheless. I'm afraid Jackpot might die of happiness. Jackpot was the first person I thought about when I saw the end of that game. I was happy for him. Oh, hell, I was happy for him last week. I still think Tennessee should make it. Why? Because they didn't win their division and got blown out by South Carolina? Not good, still going to finish in the top 5. Yeah, maybe. To everyone who beat on OSU. Michigan versus Georgia in the Natty. Those look like the 2 best teams right now. Hey, Lou, what about Joe Rocket, Arm Milton? Yeah, they play at 7:30. I'm going to watch that game. The games I'm going to be watching, I got Texas A&M and LSU on now. The Oregon State game just ended. Notre Dame Southern Cal's coming on at 7:30. And then Tennessee Vandy at 7:30. Those are the 3 games I'll be watching tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on all of them, but those are the 3 I'll be watching. The pizza's here, too. Well, I don't know about if it's here, but they pulled it in the gate, though. So maybe they'll knock on the door. I don't know if they knock on the door or what they do. Quackhead, thank you for the super chat. He says, we got dominated on the lines of scrimmage. Yeah, I noticed you're not in here trolling me after your team just got beat by a fucking beaver. You didn't beat Oregon, did you?
I didn't.
Okay, not that beaver. The Oregon State Beavers. Kirby's Visor, thank you for the super chat. Says, best hire Georgia Tech could make would be keeping Brent Key as head coach. I disagree. Chance-tastic, thank you for the super chat. Alabama's best win would be against Vandy, 55-3, if Vandy beats the Voltards tonight. Well, if you're relying on a win over Vandy to prove that you're playoff worthy, then you've reached a level of poverty never before seen by mankind. Did the game live up to the hype for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
So.
And it ended up unexpectedly being a close game in the first half, so it was even a little bit exciting in the first half too.
Yeah, when Georgia Tech made that first touchdown,
Yeah.
I thought Uncle Lou was gonna lose it.
Joshua T, thank you for hitting the PayPal link today to help support the channel. He says, hey, Uncle Lou, can I send you my tickets that I got money on so you can see my stress levels? Yeah, sure. Email them to me and whatnot. Thank you, Josh, for hitting that PayPal to help support the channel, buddy. I appreciate that. Chance says, obviously joking, the best wins would be Texas, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. All comes down to committee for us. Yeah, I mean, I agree that those are your best wins, but the problem is none of those wins are very good. And Ohio State's going to have 2 wins better than that. Fight on, Lou. Yeah, look, I'm hoping that forget trolling and trash talking for a second. I talked about this in a video the other day. I hope the Notre Dame Southern Cal game's a good game. For those of y'all that are old enough to remember those Notre Dame Southern Cal games from the early, late 2000s, boy, those were some great games. 3 or 4 years in a row, those were some of the best games of the year in college football. And it feels like maybe that rivalry is headed back in that direction. As a college football fan, it would be fun to see the Notre Dame Southern Cal game have a lot of meaning again. I'm hoping for a great game tonight in that one. Family reunions suck. Wow. I hear you. Lou, the road to 2 natties just keeps getting better and better for us. Go Dogs. Hey, Uncle Lou, can we talk about 24/7 playoff scenarios? No. Did any ACC team win today? Interesting. Kentucky beat Louisville, didn't they? Didn't Kentucky end up beating Louisville? It's a commercial on Texas A&M and LSU, but we'll get back to that soon. Texas A&M up 7-0 right now. About those Wolverines, yeah, they beat Ohio State today. Blew them out, really. Blew them out, to be honest. Hey, what's up, Drew? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, y'all hit the thumbs up. We got some great games coming on tonight. I'm going to be streaming these primetime games. Texas A&M and LSU is underway now. Texas A&M up 7-0. Got Notre Dame and Southern Cal getting ready to kick off in about 15 minutes, as well as Tennessee and Vandy in about 8 minutes, according to the timer on the TV. So we'll be watching some college football tonight, hanging out, talking college football in the chat. You guys make sure you hit the thumbs up. We hoping to have some good games tonight. Hoping to have some good games tonight.
Hey, Raj, tell Ethan we got Domino's.
Yeah, Raj, tell Ethan we got Domino's. What a surprise. Jaden Daniels runs it on first down. That's literally LSU's only play. We make fun of Tennessee about having 11 plays. LSU's offense is Jaden Daniels' legs, and that's it. Munkin's headset says, raining here in South Georgia. This just in, Ohio State just dropped another touchdown. Man, that's a shame. That's a shame, but very believable. Very believable. Kaiser Seagull, thank you for the super chat. He says, it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Hail to the victors. Go blue. We dominated Ohio State. It's our time now. Ohio State's 20 years of dominance are over. Michigan, man, laying down the gauntlet there. You know, that rivalry has been very streaky in the past. Like, Michigan will win a bunch for a while. Ohio State, of course, just got done winning a bunch for a while. Maybe Michigan does go on one of those streaks where they win, 8 out of 10 or something like that. Oh, the game was great, Albert. We had a really good time. The weather was perfect. Sunshine. We got to Athens about 7:30 or 8. It was about 50 degrees. It was about 60 degrees by kickoff. By the second half, it was probably 65. It was a great day. We had a good time. First and 10 for the Corn Dog on their own 40. Jaden Daniels throws incomplete. What a surprise. Second and 10. Scattered, covered, and chunked. Thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, how's the atmosphere and game experience compared to TV? Anything you saw in person we couldn't see on TV that stood out? Well, I might not be the right person to ask about game atmosphere and experience. I think it's garbage. I don't know if other places suffer from the same issues as Sanford Stadium or not, but going to a game, well, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but forget using your cell phone. Just forget it. I mean, you can't even check scores. You can't even, I have an app on my phone just to check scores. Forget it. You can't even check scores. They do a shitty job on the ticker thing inside the stadium of keeping you updated on scores. There's no cell phone service. Just forget anything that has to do with your cell phone. You might as well leave your cell phone in your car. It's just ridiculous in 2022 that they can't figure this out. On top of that, they do a terrible job at Sanford Stadium when it comes to showing replays on the big board. It's just a mess. So, a lot of those, I don't know, could you hear the booing on TV? It seemed like a lot of bad calls were made. But the problem is, I don't know if they were bad calls or not, because Sanford Stadium does a terrible job of showing you the replays on the big screen. For somebody like me, who just loves college football, and I can sit here for 12 hours on a Saturday and watch 25 games, or I can drive 2.5 hours to Athens, watch one game with no cell phone service, blah, 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 2.5 hours back. I mean, that's why I don't go to a lot of games anymore. Jazz, thank you for the super chat. He says chili with meat and Ohio State football are both overrated. You know what? You're right, Jazz. Those are two facts right there. LSU just fumbled. Texas A&M jumped on it, or LSU fumbled, but they did jump on it. So no turnover. Billy Boy says they were mostly bad calls. Y'all have to watch the replay back, but it looked like a couple of bad calls, but it's hard to tell when you're there without seeing a replay. And Sanford Stadium does a terrible job of showing you replays. They're just horrible. Right? You can't, I mean, it's just, they might as well not even try. It's that bad. They might as well not even try to show replays. That's how bad it is. Is Ohio State to a playoff team in that? Probably. Now, not if TCU and Southern Cal went out. If TCU and, TCU already won today. So all TCU's got to do is win next week and they're in. If Southern Cal wins tonight and next week they're in, and then Ohio State would be out. But if either TCU or Southern Cal loses, then Ohio State might still get in. Jaden Daniels incomplete down near the 1 yard line. 2nd and 10 now for LSU. Texas A&M is up 7-0 right now over the Corn Dogs. Yeah, Jason, I'm not the only one that complains about the in-game experience at stadiums these days, especially with all the advancements that have been made at home for home theaters or sports rooms or man caves. I mean, I'm glad I went because she's never been to a game, so it was nice to go and take her to a game. But it's not like I left that game today going, man, I can't wait to go to another Georgia game. It's going to be honest, and it's got nothing to do with my love for Georgia. It's just, to be honest with you, I enjoy college football more, I think, sitting in here all day on Saturday watching 20 games than I do driving up to Athens, only seeing the Georgia game, and then all the inconveniences that go along with that. Seeing your team play at their home stadium is something cool to see once every other year. If South Carolina and Georgia would play today, who would win? That can't be a serious question. That cannot be a serious question. We beat them 48-7. Come on. How did you feel about Georgia passing game today? What passing game? They didn't have one. I don't know if Stetson Bennett's not allowed to throw it more than 5 yards downfield or if he just repeatedly chooses not to. I don't know what's going on with the passing game. But Georgia doesn't really have a passing game right now. I mean, I don't count screen passes and hitch passes and jet sweeps as a passing game. I don't. I know it counts on the stat sheet, but I don't count hitch passes, screen passes, and jet sweeps as a passing game. To me, those are all extensions of the run game. I'll be at the SEC championship game. Better atmosphere, says Ryan Smith. Yeah, it's hard to find a better atmosphere than the SEC championship game. Brock Bowers is good, but I wish we had more wide receivers that were elite. I wish we had even one wide receiver that was elite. Ohio State's got 8 of them and can't beat Michigan. We don't have any elite wide receivers, and we beat Michigan like a drum. It's weird. Am I the only one? When you order a pizza, Why is it so damn hard for them to slice the fucking pizza like they're supposed to? It's laziness. It's laziness. That's all it is. You go to tear your next piece of pizza out, and you end up with either only a half a piece or you get your whole piece plus half the other piece attached to it because they don't know how to cut they don't know how to work a pizza wheel. They don't know how to work a wheel cutter. It's lazy. Lazy. I got half a mind to call the Domino's people right now, tell them come out here with a wheel cutter and cut this damn pizza. It's almost like Georgia is better coached than Ohio State. Yeah, right? I mean, really think about it. I'm being serious. Think about it. If Georgia had an elite Heisman caliber type QB and even one first round NFL wide receiver, would it really even be fair to the rest of college football? I don't even think it would be fair. Look what Georgia's doing with basically no offense at all. The real USC says Notre Dame is going to win this game. Damn, no faith? No faith at all? Tide are rising, Lou. Why? Because you beat Auburn by 2 touchdowns? Playoff teams beat Auburn by 30 points, my dude. How bad we beat Auburn? 42-10? We beat Auburn 42-10. Auburn's still scoring on you, and the game ended an hour ago. Alabama's rising. I heard that all off season. This was the year. The year what? The year that your best wins were going to be against an 8-4 Ole Miss team? Horn dog down inside the 5 now. 1st and goal coming up for LSU. They're down 7-0 to Texas A&M in the first quarter right now. 500 IQ, thank you for the super chat. He says, does Blake Corum still have a shot at winning the Heisman? Well, he gets to play next week, if he plays next week. But 2 carries for 6 yards isn't going to win him the Heisman. That's what he had today, right? 2 carries for 6 yards. You know who's going to win the Heisman? You know who can win the Heisman today? There's somebody that can win the Heisman in 30 minutes from now. Caleb Williams. They're getting ready to kick off right now. Caleb Williams can win the Heisman tonight. Caleb Williams puts up 350 yards and 4 touchdowns tonight. He's your Heisman winner. Everyone is watching this game. Hendon Hooker's in a nursing home. Bryce Young's irrelevant. C.J. Stroud played himself out of the Heisman race. Blake Corum is hurt. Drake May can't win games. If Caleb Williams has 350 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns tonight, he's your Heisman winner. Yeah, please don't spam the chat. There's like 800 people in here, and when you spam the chat, nobody can see anybody else's comment but yours. So just type it one time. If it's worth being replied to, someone will reply to it. You don't have to type it 25 times in a row. Caleb Williams is a great ball player, says Caleb Wheeler. Muffin says, the person earlier was talking about the best tide in the country, the Tulane Green Wave. Tulane versus Bama would be a good game. Tulane versus Alabama would be a really good game. Glad the Kiffin drama is over. What, something happened today? What did he do? Did he sign an extension with Ole Miss, or what happened? What happened with Kiffin today? Bo Nix still best QB in America? I don't know about that. He's staying at Ole Miss? Okay. So Hugh Freeze to Auburn then, huh? Hugh Freeze to Auburn? Imagine how bad you have to be, Auburn, for Lane Kiffin to tell you no when you offered him $10 million a year for 10 years. Jeez. Big play by Southern Cal on 3rd and 2 across midfield. Hurdles a man down to the 35. Huge play by Southern Cal to open things up here. Into Notre Dame territory. Hurdles a man at the 40, down at the 35. Look at this. Watch this play. Tight end number 87. Look at this. Oopsie. Yeah. Hurdle right over my man there. Nice play there. LSU did score. Here comes the extra point to tie things up. Kick is good. All tied up. 7 apiece, Texas A&M and LSU. Vandy has the ball, running it all over Tennessee. Big play right up the middle there on the ground. 2nd and 6 for Vandy at midfield. No score. That one just underway. About 11 minutes to go. Well, no, Tennessee's up 7-0. About 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. Now Southern Cal runs a reverse. What are they doing? Another big play. Down to the 23-yard line that time. Another first down. 1st and 10 Trojans. Play action pass. Caleb Williams takes off running. Slides just short of a first down, but picked up 8 or 9 yards. 2nd and short coming up for Southern Cal. Tennessee scored in 10 seconds. Lou, they should make the playoffs. Yeah, right. South Carolina is the official dream killer. Go Dogs. Thank you, Chris. First comes Rock. Thank you for the super chat. As someone who worked at Domino's in college, I can confirm that the employees can barely put on their pants in the morning. I believe you, man. I believe you. That just irritates me when every time you order the pizza and they can't be bothered to. Why? I mean, they're just going through the motions. They can't even cut the pizza all the way. It's irritating. Raj Light says, FYI, Ethan says Domino's sucks. Yeah, I know. That's why we told him. Yeah, I know.
We're trolling him.
I know. Scatter covered in chunk. Thank you for the super chat. He says, we had an elite receiver. And he had just over 1,300 yards and less than 100 receptions in 3 years. Tragic. Did more damage to a Georgia Tech player on the sideline than he did in any defense. Yeah, we're talking about George Pickens. Yeah, played for Georgia for 3 years, had a total of 1,300 yards. You're right. You're right. Now, he was injured last year, but still. Most elite receivers have 1,300 yards a season. Elite receivers at UGA have 1,300 yards for their career. You know, y'all know Georgia's only ever had 1,000-yard receiver in a season. It's only happened one time. Georgia's been playing football since the Civil War, basically. And they've only ever had one wide receiver have a 1,000-yard season. And that was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. Yeah, Terrence Edwards. No, it was Terrence Edwards 20 years ago, not A.J. Green. A.J. Green never had 1,000. Terrence Edwards had 1,000 20 years ago. Tech surprised me today. Not really. I mean, when they scored, you can ask her, when they scored on that opening, they got the ball first, they went down the field and scored. I looked right at her and I said, they're not going to score again. And they didn't score again until whatever it was, 2 minutes to go in the game. Garbage time when Georgia was up 30 points. So, no, I was never really worried. I mean, I was irritated and mad at Georgia's unwillingness to throw the ball more than 5 yards downfield, but I'm annoyed and mad at Georgia's unwillingness to throw the ball more than 5 yards downfield at every single game they play, whether they're losing by 100 or winning by 100 or anywhere in between. Nothing I saw from Georgia Tech really surprised me. Trey Beck, thank you for the super chat. He says, have a cold one on me, Lou, because Stetson Bennett III just played his last game at Sanford Stadium. That's a fact. He's got 3 games left to play, 2 in Atlanta and 1 in L.A. Matt Rule to Nebraska. Take notes, Auburn. Yeah, I heard that today, too, while I was at the game. Matt Rule to Nebraska. I think that's a good hire for Nebraska, because I don't think Nebraska is very high on a lot of coaches' wish list as far as like where they want to end up. So to get a name like Matt Rule, I think is about the best Nebraska could have hoped for. Doesn't mean it'll work out. I don't know. I got to think about it first before I decide whether he's going to be a failure or not. But as far as going out and getting somebody, I don't know that Nebraska could have done any better than that. Lou, Auburn played pretty good. Well, yeah, but they played against Bama. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. They didn't give up. I'll give them that because they were down 35-14 at one point. What was the final score? 42-27? Something like that. You think Ohio State backed their way into the playoffs? Right now, if everyone else wins out, right now, of course, it would be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Southern Cal. If TCU or Southern Cal lose, I think Ohio State would be the first team in right now. He ran away. Who ran away? Kiffin got a 6-year contract instead of 4. That's good. Lou, I think the fact that Tech was in the game for so long today shows that Tech can get back to being competitive with Georgia again. If I was you, I would set your expectations a lot lower than trying to be competitive with the best team this year and the best program right now in all of college football. I would focus on trying to beat most, if not all, of the mid-level ACC teams before you start trying to take aim at UGA. Muffin Man, thank you for the super chat. Mike Norvell has more SEC wins than Jimbo Fisher. What? That can't be true. That can't be true. I'm going to have to Google that. That can't be true. Lou, Tech had many chances today. Every team that plays has a chance every time they snap the ball or line up for a defensive play. It's pouring in Nashville, says Blitz Davis. Tennessee's still up 7-0. Overthrow Joe win at QB for Tennessee with Hendon Hooker on the shelf. Throws complete to the sideline across the 30 to the 32-yard line. First down for Tennessee. 8:22 to go in the first quarter of that one. Commercial break on the other two. LSU and Texas A&M still tied at 7 apiece. Southern Cal went down and scored. They're up 7-0. To shit the bed. Ohio State shit the bed big time today. Yes, they did. They're soft. What do you know? They were soft last year. Turns out they're soft again this year. The best run, Blake Corum didn't even play. I mean, basically, he had 2 carries for 6 yards. The backup running back ran for 200-something yards. I mean, Michigan had almost 300 yards rushing on Ohio State. It's just pitiful to watch. Ohio State's defense is out there on roller skates. It's like if you had roller skates with some kind of weird backwards locking mechanism that only allows the wheels to roll backwards.
Wow. Yeah, but then they can't even do that.
No, then they just fall down. Because they're like me, they can't even skate backwards. So when they get pushed, they just fall over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Sea-Dog should shave his dumb head after today. Man, y'all leave Sea-Dog alone, man. Notre Dame with the ball now, down 7, 1st and 10. They pick up 5 or 6 on the ground. A&M already down in corn dog territory again. Looking to retake the lead. You think Michigan can beat Georgia this year? No, I don't think anybody can beat Georgia this year. I was a lot more worried at this time last year than I am at this time this year. To me, Michigan is a less talented, maybe slightly less talented, but still less talented blueprint of Georgia. And in that scenario, I'll take the more talented team, which in this case is Georgia. Emmanuel Areola says, well, boy, when they were giving out names, they didn't do you no favors. What's your thoughts on all this talk of Alabama getting in if TCU and USC lose? Well, let's see. Georgia, Michigan are in. If TCU loses and USC loses, let's see. Ohio State would be in. Maybe Bama. Maybe Bama at 4 in that scenario. Or maybe a 12-1 TCU is still ranked ahead of Bama. TCU's even a 12-1 TCU with a Big 12 title is going to have a way, way, way better resume than Alabama. Way better. But that doesn't always matter to the committee, so I don't know what they would do. Devon A-Chain on 3rd and 1 picks up the first name. I think his name is Devon. Is that right? Is his name Devon A-Chain or Devin A-Chain, or am I just totally getting it wrong? Bama playing better now? They are? If you say so. Why? Because they beat Auburn 42-27? I don't know about that. Beating Auburn at 42-27 isn't very good, is it? Didn't Penn State and Georgia beat Auburn? Like, if you combine Penn State and Georgia's Auburn scores, isn't it like 100-17? Rock Chalk Jayhawks. Agent Z wanting Kansas to beat Kansas State. That game comes on 8 o'clock on Fox. I mean, to be fair, Auburn does play their absolute best against Alabama. It's a convenient excuse, isn't it? First and 10 for Vandy. They're still down 7-0 against Tennessee. First and 10 on the 31. They might have gained a yard on the ground. Not much more than that. Not much more than that. Florida State beat Georgia Tech better than Georgia did. Didn't Florida State play Florida yesterday? How'd that go? Since if you want to, I mean, I don't understand why you would want to do that, but since you do, can you tell me what the score of the Florida State-Florida game was? Then Google the Georgia-Florida game as if, I mean, does that mean something? Texas A&M on 3rd and 7 picks up the first down inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal. Tennessee gets caught with an offsides here. That's going to give Vandy a free 5 yards. Georgia would beat Michigan. Y'all did the same thing last year and got mollywopped. Yeah, I don't think Georgia. Michigan doesn't have. I don't think Michigan would beat Georgia, no. Chad Morris to Auburn. It's official, woo? No. There's no way. Not even Auburn's that dumb. Not even Auburn's that dumb. I mean, Auburn's pretty dumb, but they can't be that dumb. You have to be trolling. Is it just me, or does John Hopeful look like he pays people to sing into a can? What? What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
That's hilarious, but I have no idea what that means. Is it just me, or does John Hopeful look like he pays people to sing into a can? I wish I knew what that meant.
That's telegram kind of thing?
That sounds hilarious, but I don't really know what that means, though. But that does sound funny. What would be good is Texas A&M beat LSU, then LSU beat Georgia. What would that be good for? 4th and 8. Vandy's going to have to punt it away. Southern Cal still up 7-0 over Notre Dame, 7:54 to go. Caleb Williams throws deep down the sideline, severely underthrown. Lucky that one wasn't intercepted. Not a good throw by Caleb Williams there. And the wide receiver had a step or two on the defender, but that ball was drastically underthrown. Look, beat him right off the line. You got to lay that ball out there. Boy, not a good throw there. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Condoms. Lou, who is worse, Collins or Chad Morris? Well, Jeff Collins was worse for longer. But Chad Morris was pretty bad, though. He was pretty bad. Caleb Williams on 3rd and 5 throws complete for a first down. Down inside the 25 to the 24. The ball came out. Notre Dame recovered the fumble. Southern Cal receiver looked like he was maybe trying, I don't know what he was doing, but he fumbled the ball, and Notre Dame jumped on it, and the referees say Notre Dame ball. Turnover by Southern Cal wide receiver there, a fumble. Would have been a huge play, too, 25 or 30 yards down into the red zone. See the replay. Oh, it gets stripped away. Got tackled from behind, and the Notre Dame defender stripped the ball away. Oh, wait a minute. No. He then recovered the fumble, and Notre Dame, it's clear, this is going to be Southern Cal's ball. If you're watching, you know what I mean. He did fumble, but he recovered it, pulled it into his stomach, had control of the ball, and then a Notre Dame defender came in late and ripped it out. But this is going to be Southern Cal's ball. Are Alabama fans wearing Notre Dame hats right now? Tell the truth. If I catch Notre Dame fans if I catch Alabama fans rooting for Notre Dame or Kansas State next week against TCU, is Alabama really going to sink to Tennessee fans' level? Tennessee was running around with Baylor hats and UCLA hats last week, wanting TCU and Southern Cal to lose. Is Alabama fan going to stoop that low? Alabama man, I know you're in there. Are y'all wearing Notre Dame hats right now? You tell Uncle Lou the truth. And are you buying a Kansas State hat to wear next week? Boy, don't let me catch no Alabama fan running around with a Kansas State hat, a Notre Dame hat, or whoever. Who's Southern Cal playing next week now that Oregon lost? Utah again? LSU looks afraid of Texas A&M. Well, if Alabama gets in ahead of Tennessee, it's going to be because Tennessee got blown out by an unranked team. Third and goal for Texas A&M. Back to throw. Gets rid of it into the end zone. Incomplete, just out of reach of the wide receiver. It's going to be 4th and goal now for Texas A&M. All tied up 7 apiece with the corn dog. James Holly, thank you for the super chat. He says, Ohio State suck nuts. I think Michigan scored another touchdown on you. Georgia would have manhandled you, sir. That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, Georgia's just too physical for Ohio State. Too physical for they don't want those problems. John Hopeful looks like he mixes his ding-dongs and Twinkies and calls them dinkies. I never get tired of the John Hopeful jokes. Keep them coming. You got to love John Hopeful. Boy, he give Tennessee fans all kinds of hope. Tennessee fans are full of John Hopeful. You see what I did there? Good. I wasn't sure if that went over the heads or how that was going to work out. 1st and 10 for Southern Cal, so they did give them the ball back on the 23. Hitch pass complete to the wide receiver inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Up 3 or 4 yards there. It's going to be second and about 6. Ram Dog, thank you for the super chat. He says, in order to provide clarity for all numbnuts on here, if Texas A&M wins, the SEC, if Aggies win the SEC camp game, the SEC. In order to provide clarity for all the numbnuts on here, if the Aggies win, the SEC championship game will be the most irrelevant one to date. LSU has no chance at anything, and Georgia would just be playing for seeding. That is true if LSU were to lose today. That is true. That would be the case. Michigan as the 1 seed next week, I doubt it. Raj Light, thank you for the super chat. ACC man punching that chest. Beamer ball, though. SEC still on top, motherfuckers. Yeah, poor Dabo. I got to watch his post-game press conference. Did he blame the media or ESPN again? Oh, is Dabo Swinney still making jokes about Tennessee losing to South Carolina like he... What was that about? I guess instead of preparing to play South Carolina, Dabo Swinney spent all week making jokes about Tennessee losing to South Carolina. But then he went out and lost to South Carolina?
I guess the joke's on him.
The joke's on him. Dabo's got foot and mouth disease. He's had it for a while. Did you know that they played Clemson a couple of years ago in the playoffs in 2020? And you know there's a bunch of different rankings. There's the playoff ranking. There's an AP ranking. Well, there's also a ranking called the coaches poll, the coaches ranking. And each coach votes in it, right? The week before he gets ready to play Ohio State in the playoffs, he gives a press conference where he goes, hey, how you doing? My name's Dabo Swinney, and I put Ohio State 13th in my ranking. Have a great day.
Wow.
Yeah, disrespectful. And then guess what happened? Guess what happened? Ohio State came out and waxed his ass on national television.
Yeah, put that in your 13.
Waxed and bleached his whole asshole. Bleached it.
Open that mouth, insert foot.
Now he goes out and makes fun of Tennessee, which, hell, look, I get it. Everybody was making fun of Tennessee. But it didn't backfire on everybody. I don't think I've ever seen anybody step on as many rakes as Dabo Swinney. Every time he opens his mouth, he's stepping on a rake. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, zero fucks disease.
You ever stepped on a rake?
No.
You know what happens?
Yes.
It comes up and pops you in the head.
Pops you in the head.
This guy just keeps stepping on the same rake over and over again. But thank you, can I have another? That kind of thing. The guy's, he's not all there. His name is Dabo.
Too many rakes hitting him in the head, I guess.
Shit makes no sense, man. A&M made that field goal. They're up 10-7 over LSU. Second and goal, Caleb Williams throws into the end zone, but there's a flag down. It's going to be pass interference on somebody, offensive or defensive, but we'll see what they say. But they threw a flag in the end zone right where the catch was trying to be made. Lou, I have proof of Lane Kiffin buying a house on Lake Martin, 40 miles from Auburn campus. House is $3 million. I live on Lake Martin. You have proof? Call John Sokoloff. Give it to him. He'll know what to do with it. He'll know what to do with it. Better yet, just tweet him. Corn Dog on the ground. Across the 40 to the 41. Texas A&M 10, LSU 7. Southern Cal 7, Notre Dame 0. Tennessee, I believe, still up 7-0 over. Tennessee now up 14-0 over Vandy. Quit smoking those cancer sticks, or else what? Or else what? You gonna come over here and do something about it? John Hopeful has a chin for every day of the week. Wow. Damn.
Jeez.
LSU picks up a chunk play on a pass that time into A&M territory. Look at Southern Cal. Southern Cal's 3rd and goal from They're like backed all the way up to Utah. 3rd and goal from the 27-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 27-yard line for Southern Cal. It ain't dang. Of course, they hand it off, give up play. Down inside the 15 to the 14. Be a field goal try coming up for Southern Cal. It was a give up play there. Uncle Lou looked like he listened to Eminem when he was a youngin'. I still listen to Eminem. Sort Beaver, thank you for the super chat. Ole Miss doesn't even want Kiffin after his antics. Wow, that can't be true. Ole Miss wants him. They gave him a huge extension and a raise and that. John Hopeful 8, Dabo Swinney. That'll show him, won't it? I'll show you, Dabo. Get in my belly. Remember Fat Bastard?
Yep.
Should we just start calling him that? I don't want to start calling John Hopeful Fat Bastard. That seems a little too much. That seems a little too much. James Holly, thank you for the super chat. These Ohio State fans sound just like Boomhauer. Can't understand a thing coming out of their mouth. Well, who have they played? Well, they played Michigan today. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. Ole Miss would be a 5-7 program without Lane Kiffin. Yeah, they'd be dumb to purposely get rid of Lane Kiffin. But, I mean, clearly they don't want to get rid of Lane Kiffin. That's why they just offered him a huge raise and extension. Hey, Uncle Lou, what do you think about Michigan? Do you think they have a shot to beat UGA or no? I doubt it. I mean, honestly, I thought the team that had the best chance to beat UGA was Ohio State, and it's just because of the style of football they play with their throwing game. I just don't think Michigan can do enough through the air to beat Georgia. To me, Michigan looks like a slightly less talented version of Georgia. Great along the lines of scrimmage, play really good defense. Nothing all that exciting when it comes to the passing game, but they can run the ball well. I just don't think I think they do all of those things really good. I just think Georgia does all of those things a little better. And Georgia's just more talented all around, I think, right now than Michigan. But it could be a good game. We probably won't see that until the national championship game because you're probably going to have Georgia and Michigan 1 and 2. The order doesn't really, the order does matter. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
3rd and 2.
That.
3rd and 2, and the corn dog dropped a wide open pass that would have given him a first down. Probably going to kick the field goal now and try to tie things up in that. And that's exactly why you don't want Bama. Bama can't throw the ball, sir. What are you talking about? Bama doesn't have a single wide receiver that anybody's afraid of. If you don't believe me, listen to every Alabama fan on earth for the last 3 months cry, bitch, moan, and complain about not having any wide receivers. I mean, y'all lead the country in drop passes. Y'all are a disaster offensively. All you have is Bryce Young. That's it. You had him last year, and it didn't work out. And it won't work out this year either. Bama's horrible. Bama's a borderline top 10 team. Who does Ole Miss have? Jason Line, fence jumper? I don't know what that means. I have never complained, Lou. Yes, you have, Pastor Dave. I've seen you complain about Alabama's wide receivers all year long. Every time I say Alabama's wide receivers can't catch, you agree with me. Pruitt still is costing you cheat scholarships, but they love the recruits he brought in for the Chick-fil-A bags. Oh, boy. Southern Cal did not kick a field goal? I don't know what they did. Is Caleb Williams hurt? No, he's up now. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there in the Southern Cal game. I missed it. Notre Dame throws complete on first down, gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 coming up. Texas A&M on the return, out close to the 30, a little short, about around the 29. 1st and 10 right there. I can't remember a worse group of Heisman candidates than this year's who you got winning it. If Caleb Williams has a good game tonight, I think he's going to win it. Everybody else has kind of played themselves out of it at the end. Every recruit that took money was told to leave. Lou, do you think that FSU could hang with Georgia? Lou, I can't wait to hear what the "and that's a fact" man has to say on the call-in show. Might be the most anticipated call-in show all season. Oh, you talking about the Ohio State guy that's called in every single call-in show I've done since August, saying that Georgia and Ohio State are going to be playing in the national championship game? You're talking about that guy? Lou, your car sounds damn good, man. Thank you. I've got, what do I have on there? Roush Racing exhaust. Roush Racing exhaust. Could West Mississippi College for the Blind hang with UGA? They'd have just as good of a chance of hanging with UGA as, I don't know, Florida State would. Lou, you're struggling to talk today. I was at the Georgia game today. So I lost my voice a little. It's a little scratchy, I know. I apologize. I know normally I have a very soothing voice. And today it's a little raspy, but I apologize. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, so can we contain the trolling so he doesn't have
Oh, that's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. And we just started here.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're already getting trolling comments that we normally don't get till like the 4th hour of the stream. They're already way ahead of the curve today. Who knows what they're going to be typing in 2 hours? Ohio State lost by 22 today and lost by 15 last year. How? Because they're softer than Baby Dookie. That's why. They're soft. So when they play a big physical team like Michigan, they just can't handle it, pushed around. The Ohio State's a finesse team. They're just way too soft. Way too soft. LSU 10, Texas A&M 10. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime. Notre Dame with a nice big gain down to the 35 of Southern Cal. This is by far their best drive of the game. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter of this one. 1st and 10, Notre Dame on the Southern Cal 36. Southern Cal 10, Notre Dame 0. Handoff up the middle. Another big hole. Shoestring tackle prevents a big gain there. Still picked up about 6 yards, though. Into the first quarter at Southern Cal. Trojans 10, Notre Dame 0. Tennessee still up 14-0 over Vandy. And A&M LSU tied up at 10 apiece. What's one thing you are worried about LSU in the SEC championship game? Well, Jaden Daniels is good at running around. But I trust Georgia's defensive staff and Georgia's defense. Wow. Jesus, man. A-Chain is just running over like 4 and 5 corn dogs every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
I trust Georgia's staff to implement a plan and the players to execute that plan when it comes to Jaden Daniels' running ability. That's the only thing that really worries me about LSU offensively is Jaden Daniels running around. And then defensively, Harold Perkins is great. But Georgia's got about 15 Harold Perkins. So I'm not too worried about LSU. Lou, you missing super hats? What? Lou, you missing super hats and PayPals left and right? I'm not missing any super chats. I've been reading them as they come in. Oh, VicTube. Hey, Lou, the Shamecocks came through for me to go to 8-4. Yes, they did, Vic. Yes, they did. The Shamecocks beat two pretend playoff teams to go from a 6-win team to an 8-win team. That's amazing. I don't see any more super chats besides those. I've read them all. I do see a PayPal, though. Josh says, email sent your way with his bets. Okay, I'll check them out. Jay Shipe says, I wonder if in 10 years I'll look back at the start of the UJ dynasty and say, I can't believe we won 2 back-to-back with Stetson. I hope you look back and say that. I hope you look back and say that. It looks right now like Georgia is going to win 2 in a row. Georgia is like Vegas odds-wise, Georgia is a huge favorite. Huge favorite right now to win the national title. Huge favorite. Better question, who will be the QBs, Staquavius or stepson Bennett, but rooting for Georgia to win it all? At this point, I've kind of given up on Staquavius. It looks like we're pretty much stuck with stepson Bennett. And we're just going to have to hope, like last year, that that's good enough to win it all. My brother is a LSU fan. He's talking smack. I said, well, at least Georgia Tech's got a better record with a loss of Georgia than Texas A&M. Yeah, that's true. I think. Georgia Tech's got 5 wins. What's A&M got? 3 or 4? Something like that. Lou, after letting Kentucky, Mizzou, and Georgia Tech hang with you, why do you think UJ is so good? The same reasons everyone else thinks they're so good. The same reasons everyone else has them ranked number 1. We beat Georgia Tech 37-14, didn't we? Just saw a video of an Oregon player sucker punching an Oregon State fan after the game. Oh, no, I haven't seen any of that. Buckeyes are dog fans now. LOL. LSU is going to beat Georgia. Okay. Are they beating Texas A&M? I'm just asking. Are they beating Texas A&M? No? Okay. Who do you think will be UJ quarterback next year? Looks like Carson Beck right now. I mean, that could change, once we go through spring practice and the offseason and all that. But right now it looks like Carson Beck. I mean, he's been the number 2 quarterback all year. Carson Beck has. What happened, Lou? You said Bama didn't have a shot to make the playoffs. They don't. They're not getting in. Nothing's changed for Bama. How many times did you want to choke Stetson today? Several. Several. LSU is going to see a true defense when they play in the SEC championship game. What makes Georgia so good? If you have to ask that question, you don't have any business watching a college football YouTube channel. You need to study just the basics of football in general so you can get at least an elementary understanding of the game. If somebody has to explain to you how or why Georgia is good, then there's not enough time left in the day today for me to help you. How many times did you want to choke Ringo today? Yeah, he didn't play good in the first half, especially. Lou, Trump or DeSantis? What if I had to choose between those two? If those were my only 2 choices, I would never vote for Trump under any circumstances, period, end of question. So I would vote for DeSantis over Trump. But I don't think anybody in here cares about politics. We're watching and talking college football. Yes, Ringo played like shit. Georgia team's choking Atlanta. Well, Georgia beat a top 10 team in Atlanta this year, whatever it was, 49-3. Lou, is the problem Stetson has lost confidence? I don't have any idea. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. Uh-oh. Touchdown, Texas A&M, but there's a flag down. Might be roughing the passer. If it's roughing the passer, then of course the touchdown will stand. I thought Kirby had Georgia on lockdown. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about recruiting? No, we recruit way beyond the state of Georgia. Way beyond. You were right. Nobody cares about politics. LSU getting embarrassed. Well, LSU's been embarrassing themselves all year. LSU looking ahead. No, they're not looking ahead. They're just not very good. LSU's not very good. LSU beat Arkansas 13-10 a couple of weeks ago. Arkansas is horrendous. Lou, which college will have the first Saudi Arabian QB? I don't have any idea. I have no clue. Oregon gets in if Washington State wins. Well, gets in the Pac-12 title game, yeah. Where do you think Ohio State sits now? Well, it depends what happens in the primetime games. Depends what happens with LSU. Depends what happens with Southern Cal. Right? Somebody just missed a field goal. Vanderbilt just missed a field goal. LSU looks like shit. Yeah, they've looked like shit pretty much all year. To be honest, LSU versus Georgia will match up perfectly. Perfectly for Georgia. LSU's not any good, dude. LSU is not very good, brother. What will your reaction be if USA wins the World Cup? I get asked this a lot. I'm trying to figure out here. Do you people pre-plan your reactions to spontaneous events? And if so, how do you do that? How do you do that? Because I don't know how to do that. If you pre-plan a reaction to something in the future, it's not really a reaction. So I have a problem with the question in general. It's hard to deny how good LSU is. It's not hard for me to deny it at all. At all. The Beast, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, thankfully Michigan saved Ohio from the smackdown, beatdown, and shellacking in the playoff at the hands of Staquavius Bennett IV. LOL. Well, actually, if Ohio State does end up getting in, they're going to be fourth. And guess who's going to beat them down in round one? Georgia and Staquavius. We'll see what happens. I mean, you need TCU and Southern Cal to lose, but if TCU or Southern Cal loses, Ohio State's right back in there. Lou, do you like Herschel Walker? Yeah, I think he's the greatest college football player of all time. What teams have the chance to make the playoff? All the teams that you think have a chance, unless you think Bama, then no. The answer is no. Who's got a chance to make the playoff? Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Southern Cal, LSU, Ohio State. That's about it. Stetson has to earn the Staquavius title again. Yeah, I don't know if he's got time to do that. Uncle Lou, I know you're scared of LSU. You just don't want to show it. He figured it out. Fuck. Hey, don't tell anybody. UJ will lose to TCU in the Natty game. Who in the SEC East will be number 2 next season? Before we do predictions for next season, can we at least figure out which juniors are leaving for the NFL? Which seniors are coming back for their super senior season? What players does a team get in the early signing day in December? What players does the team get in regular signing day in February? What players currently on the team transfer to other teams? What players on other teams transfer to that team? Are there any coaching changes? Then you have to do that for every team in the SEC East. And then you can make an educated guess on who you think might finish second in the East. LSU is the worst SEC West Division champion of all time. Wow, 2017 Auburn was way better. Milton's overthrows are ridiculous. Is he still doing that? They don't call him Overthrow Joe for nothing, do they? They don't call him Overthrow Joe for nothing. At Uncle Lou, Hugh Freeze is gone. Where'd he go? Hell? Are you streaming? No. You're currently in the Matrix. LSU on 2nd and 10 picks up a few yards. Still 10-0 Southern Cal up on Notre Dame. Southern Cal looking at a 3rd and 6 on their own 31-yard line. Caleb Williams back to throw. Complete up to the 40. Good for a first down. Moves the sticks and keeps the drive alive. Mount Implosion. Thank you for hitting the super chat to help support the show, buddy. I really appreciate that. You are good people. I don't care what anybody else says. What? Yes. Reload. Did I stutter? There you go. Lou, we got boat raced by New Mexico State. Who's we? Who New Mexico State beat? Ohio State doesn't deserve to be ranked again. What? Really? Are you going to brag about beating Ohio State and then say they shouldn't even be ranked? So what, are you basically bragging about beating an unranked team at that point? Overthrow Joe. 2nd and 10 for Vandy. Still 14-0 Tennessee on top. 2nd and 10 incomplete pass. Ghostkind, thank you for the super chat. He says, let's say USC and LSU lose. TCU loses their championship game. You don't think Bama slides in at 4? No. No. Are you streaming all the games next week, Lou? No. I'll be streaming 2 time slots next week. I don't know which ones yet. Maybe 3, because I might do the Pac. Doesn't the Pac-12 game come on Friday so that people will actually watch it? So I might do 3. I might do Friday night and then 2 time slots on Saturday. But I don't know yet. I have a Patreon page, and I put a poll up on my Patreon page every week, and they vote on that poll, and that's what decides what times that I stream every week. Didn't we hear the same shit about Michigan beating Georgia last year? Pretty much, yeah. Lou, isn't it pretty cool that Georgia Tech national championship wins outnumber Georgia's? It's just about as cool as it is that Harvard's national championship wins outnumber Alabama's. You know, if we had a DeLorean and if we had a DeLorean and a flux capacitor, we could go back to the 1920s, and then Georgia Tech would be able to brag that they were good. But we don't. We're stuck in 2022. And Georgia Tech is a fucking disaster. But yes, it is true, though, that there are a lot of terrible teams out there right now that used to be really, really good, and Georgia Tech's one of them. Harvard is another. They've got 10 more national titles than Alabama. UJ won't play. I mean, I don't think that means that Harvard is better than Alabama today. I don't think that's what that means. So I don't think that's what it means for Georgia Tech either, especially since Georgia Tech and Georgia played today and Georgia beat the will to live out of them again. You got to give Georgia Tech credit, though. You got to give Georgia Tech credit. They play Georgia every year. We're in 2022, and they've actually beat Georgia 3 times this century. I mean, for Georgia Tech, beating Georgia 3 times this century is pretty good. That's pretty good for Georgia Tech. 3 wins this century for the nerds against Georgia. Robert says, go Dogs. Lou, yeah, go Dogs in that. Maybe Georgia is just in their heyday. Could be. Lou Humphreys was just calling those women to tell them about Jesus, I bet. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Then he was going to go lay hands on them, right? Does Tennessee run up the score on Vandy to impress the committee for the Citrus Bowl? If they can, they will. You already know. If they can, they will. Texas A&M up 17-10 at halftime over LSU. Central Florida 28-7 over South Florida at halftime. Still 10-0 Southern Cal over Notre Dame. 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Tennessee up 21-0 over Vandy. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter there. Kansas State 14, Kansas 7. Some updates for you. How'd that be? Oh, yeah, that'd be just fine. Okay, good. Thanks, accept me. The trolls in these comments, LOL. Yep. Like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame. They can't help it. First thing they do when they wake up in the morning is click on an Uncle Lou video. Prediction on the Final Four. Well, right now, if everybody wins out, it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Southern Cal. Also in 2. You feel me? You feel me? Georgia and LSU. Breaking news. Auburn and Texas A&M to play in the buyout bowl. Loser has to pay the other team's buyout. I like that. Now, that's interesting. The buyout bowl, the loser has to agree to pay the other team's buyout. I like that. I like that. The loser has to keep their coach for another year and pay the other coach's buyout. I like that idea. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Do you think TCU will beat Kansas State in the rematch? If Adrian Martinez doesn't play, I think 100% chance TCU wins. 100% chance TCU wins if Adrian Martinez doesn't play. And he hadn't played. I don't remember the last time Adrian Martinez played. So unless he, by some miracle, comes back for the Big 12 title game next week, then yes, I think TCU will beat Kansas State. I'll take Michigan. Can't beat us with better weather for 2000. Ryalina Blush Day. I guess Clemson has no defense because Carolina beat them. Clemson hasn't had a defense all year. That didn't just start today. If you've been listening to Uncle Lou every day like you're supposed to, you would have known that. Clemson's defense was the biggest lie of the offseason. Well, okay, Texas A&M being good was the biggest lie of the offseason. The second biggest lie of the offseason was that Clemson was going to have an elite defense. That didn't work out. Did you ever get that invite from Leggy? No. And I looked for him today at the game, too, to let him know how disappointed I was, but no. South Carolina will win 10 games. I got $250 on it, Lou. Send me the $250. I'll take that bet right now. But you got to send me the money now. I'll take that bet, $250. I'll give you 2-1 on your money. I'll give you 2-1 on your money. You risk 250, I'll put up 500. South Carolina doesn't win 10 games in the regular season next year. Now, you don't have $250, so I know you're not going to send it, but it's fun to type it, though, isn't it? Sure is fun for you to type it, though. Robert Mitchell says, go Dogs. Yeah, go Dogs, though. Mount Implosion, thank you for the super chat. Do you think FSU will win 10 regular season games next year? Now, for them, I'd have to look at their schedule. I don't know about that off the top of my head, but I know South Carolina's not. But, yeah, send to 250. I'll give you 2-1 on your money. The Cash App and the PayPal are in the description of the video. Send the 250 and it's a bet. Lou, what was the bet you lost on South Carolina? I had a bet on South Carolina win total under 8. And they were at 6 wins, and then they beat Tennessee and Clemson. Talk about a bad beat. I had South Carolina under 8 wins for the season, regular season. They're sitting at 6 wins, and their only 2 games left were against Tennessee and Clemson, and they won them both to finish with 8 wins. You talk about a bad beat. Lou, do you listen to Brandon Adams over at Dog Nation Daily? I listen to him for about 6 minutes at a time. It's something about his voice. I like the guy, so don't take this the wrong way. I like him, and I think he has good content and what all that. But I can only listen to him for about 6 or 7 minutes at a time because there's something about his voice that just irritates me. And then he uses the same words and phrases over and over again. I'm sure you've noticed that. You had to have noticed that. There's 2 or 3 like words or phrases that he uses over and over, and it just gets on my nerves. It's nothing against him personally. He's a great guy, I'm sure, and he knows his stuff, and it's very high quality stuff over there. I don't have anything against him. That's why it bothers me so much. I'd like to be able to listen to him for more than 6 or 7 minutes at a time, but I just can't. Did you hear Leggy did a book? Is there anybody that hasn't heard? He better become a millionaire off that book the way he's pimping that thing out. I've never seen somebody push something that hard. He's mentioned it on, first of all, he does 2 or 3 videos a day. A day. He's mentioned it in every video he's done since February. Every one. Lou, you hear the ukulele has a 5-star little brother who wants to come play for the Dogs in them? I know he's got a 5-star younger brother. I didn't know he wanted to come play for Georgia, but I don't really follow recruiting, so that's not saying much. Did you go to Georgia? No, I didn't. I went to Augusta State. Moth to a Flame. You listen to The Weeknd, Lou? I do like The Weeknd, but I don't know what that has to do with the expression that's been around for 600 years, like a moth to a flame. But I do like The Weeknd. Kirby said, if you don't like to hit, don't come. Well, he tells everybody that. Uncle Lou, I got $400 on Georgia not winning no more than 9 games next year. First of all, you don't have $400, but if you do, send it. I'll gladly take that bet. Not winning no more than 9. So if Georgia goes 10-2 or better, I win the bet. If they go 9-3 or worse, you win the bet. All right, send the 400. Cash App and PayPal is in the description of the video. I'll be patiently awaiting. I'll be patiently waiting for that. It's in the description of the video. You can't miss it. It says Cash App. You can't miss it. Does Michigan worry you at all, Woo? I mean, look, I talk all this shit. I get worried every single time Georgia tees it up. I think every fan goes into every game a little bit nervous, but there's nothing particularly about Michigan that worries me. I just think Georgia's the best team this year. I mean, I was way more nervous at this point last year about Georgia going on to win a natty than I am this year. Bama Dynasty over. Tide is soft. Whoa. Whoa. Is that true? It might be. Are both statements true? Is Bama's Dynasty over, and are they soft? How can they be soft when their best player is a 160-pound running back? You know? How can they be soft when their best player is a 160-pound throwaway running back from Georgia Tech? Bama would treat the pups. Treat them to what? Will Nance, thank you for the super chat. LSU out here losing to the G.I. Joes. What a G.I. joke. I like that. And they think they're going to beat Georgia. Yeah, look, LSU is just not very good. The West just isn't very good. 3 weeks ago, people were trying to tell me Ole Miss was the best team in the West because they were 7-0. Well, now they're 8-4. Y'all want the dynasty to be over. Alabama's won 10 games or more for 15 straight years. Coming from a team's fan that can't claim a dynasty. Lou can't even convince himself it's over. We are back. We beat Auburn.
Brad Pitt said, Lou, we need a let me check the chart shirt.
Yes, we do. You know what? I need a fucking clipboard. I want a fucking chart.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to buy a clipboard. I might go get one. I might go get one for the Your Season Is Over video.
Yes.
Who sells clipboards that's open at like 9 or 10 in the morning?
I've actually got a clipboard in my car.
You do?
I do.
That you don't need?
That I'm not using. So
Okay,
yes.
problem solved. Looks like Uncle Lou's going to have a clipboard and a chart for the Your Season Is Over video tomorrow. Oh, I know, Dave. Damo may be on the hot seat after his piss-poor coaching decisions today against my big old cock, says Carolina Jackpot. Uh-oh. Say it ain't true, Tater Man. Tater Man, that can't be true. Dabo can't be on the hot seat. Hell, he went out and hired the two best available 9-year-olds to run his offense and his defense. This guy hired a 9-year-old offensive coordinator and a 9-year-old defensive coordinator, and people are like, it's not Dabo's fault, it's the coordinator's fault. God damn it. He hired 2 Girl Scout cookie sales women to run his offense and his defense. Lou, do you only like Georgia because they are good?
God, this guy.
No, you only like Uncle Lou because Uncle Lou's good, though. You're an Uncle Lou bandwagon. Every Lincoln Riley team gets boat raced in the playoffs. That's been true so far, hasn't it? Gotta love these Gumps, realizing that the run is all but over. Trust me, I get it. Nathan, thank you for the super chat. Miami is really going to go 5-7 year one under Cristobal. They'd probably lose to South Florida, too. Oh, yeah, they probably would. This is the worst Miami team I've ever seen in my lifetime. This is the worst Miami team I've ever seen in my lifetime. I'm not trolling or exaggerating. It's the worst Miami team I've ever seen. Uncle Lou, do not even bother looking at the Miami score. Stop it right now. They're not losing to Pitt. You a damn lie. I don't see the Miami score. Did they play earlier today or something? You a damn lie. The computer says Miami's losing to Pitt 14-0. Hold on.
Does that phrase, don't believe everything you see on the internet?
Yeah, they say don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Sir,
Hold on.
go
Let me refresh that. That's some kind of an error. Nope. Turns out it's right. Wow. Talk about poverty. Very alarming. Very alarming. Notre Dame has scored while y'all were trolling me. Southern Cal 10, Notre Dame 7. Vandy still hasn't scored, though. Don't worry. 21-0. They're down to Tennessee. 2nd and 4 for Vandy on the Tennessee 48. And they're going to pick up a first down on the ground off left tackle. Moves the chains. 1st and 10, Commodores. Thank you for the super chat. Pow, pow, pow. He says, Beavers win. Beavers win. Go Beavers. I love Beavers. Thank you for the super chat, Beaver man. Squad up in the ATL. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Lou, whenever you call out the Disney dogs or our bad quarterback play, I always tag Brandon Adams and his whole staff. I give Stetson credit when he plays well, and I criticize him when he plays bad, just like I do with anybody else. And I'm not going to change just because it pisses off a certain segment of the Georgia fan base. They're going to have to either learn to deal with it or stop watching. Lou, I lost $5,000 on Georgia over-under. I jumped on it when it was 11.5 and still lost when we bet against your dogs again. Wow. Yeah, back-to-back 12-0 regular seasons for the dogs. Travis Kirk, thank you for the super chat. Didn't realize Pete's daddy is named Spencer Rattler. Whoa, whoa.
Wow.
Pigskin Pete's daddy is Spencer Rattler. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's leave Pigskin Pete out of this. Hasn't he been through enough today? Hasn't Pigskin Pete been through enough today? He had to watch his Clemson Taters diarrhea all over the field. Then he had to watch his own fans rush his own field after a loss. I swear, man, I don't care how many times Clemson people explain it to me. It is the worst possible look imaginable to lose a game and have your fans storm the field. I don't care what the reason or excuse is. It looks horrendous. It's like the biggest example of the entire participation trophy problem that we have in this country right now. Isn't it? Everybody gets a fucking ribbon. Oh, poor little Clemson. I know you got humiliated by South Carolina, but go ahead, rush the field anyway. Oh, do. Here's a little ribbon for you, too. Here's a medal. Says you came in second place against South Carolina. Now you gonna rush the field. It's fucking pitiful. If I was a Clemson fan, I wouldn't step foot on the fucking field if we lost. Why do y'all do that? It's such a bad look. It's such a bad look. I'm not kidding. That might be the worst. You know what that is? That's the worst tradition in all of football. It's the worst tradition in all of football. Rushing the field when you lose is the worst tradition in all of football. And look, I've got no issues with all my Clemson fans that are around here. It's fucking retarded. I'm sorry. I said it. It's fucking retarded. If I rush the field after a loss, I'm looking to yell at somebody.
Oh, yeah.
These people are out here high-fiving, talking about meet me at DePaul.
Start
They're out here texting people in the other section. Gonna meet me at the 45-yard line after this loss. Give me a high five. Okay. All right. Yep. Oh, 30 seconds left. Yep. Oh, we're down by 1. Okay, the game 31-30. We lost to South Carolina. I'll meet you at the 45-yard line. I'll give you a high. Let's meet at DePaul. Okay, we'll meet at DePaul. High five on it. It's fucking retarded. It's the dumbest fucking tradition in all of college football.
I mean, they gotta hug it out.
Raj, thank you for the super chat. Did they make a Mike Tyson oatmeal cream pie cake? Because if they did, Saban got the shit beat out of him. What? looks like you just reached into a hat, pulled out 25 different words, and tried to make a sentence out of them. Did they make a Mike Tyson oatmeal cream pie cake? Because if they did, Saban got the shit beat out of him. Did you see his face? What? Raj. What in the world does that mean? You ever tried to read hieroglyphics?
No, because I don't understand hieroglyphics, so I'm not gonna put myself through the torture of reading hieroglyphics.
Jacob says, I'm an Indiana fan and they need to get rid of their football program. What, just shut it down? Man, we're so bad we don't want to play anymore. Fuck it. Wow, that is pretty bad. Lou Rattler lives rent-free in UJ fans' heads. That doesn't make much sense. Lou, what are your thoughts on Central Florida being top 25? I don't have much thoughts on it at all. Really. I hope my Nittany Lions get to play the Gumps in a New Year's Six game, says Kreiner. Yeah, I guess I could go on my whole rant again that I've been on 100 times about the bowl system and how fucked up it is. They need to do away with conference affiliations with bowl games. It's outdated. It's outlived its usefulness. All this complaining about how the bowl games are unwatchable. Give us games we actually want to see. Give us games I know this is a crazy idea, but instead of giving us a game we don't want to see because, well, we got to pick the third team from this conference and we got to pick the fourth team from this one. We just have to. No, you don't have to. You just keep choosing to over and over again. Give us games we want to watch. Give me Florida State and Notre Dame in a bowl game. My man here wants Alabama and Penn State. I'll watch that. The other one said Clemson and Alabama. I'll watch that. We probably won't get any of that. They give us these games, nobody wants to watch them, and then they complain that nobody watches bowl games. Saban got punched? Oh, that's not. Now, who did that? See, I don't like elder abuse. I don't like elder abuse. I got to look this up because is that true? Saban punched. What? Nick Saban takes a hit on the sideline at LSU. No, that's 3 weeks ago. 1 hour ago. Oh, his face is all messed up. What happened to his face? Who punched him? Saban got hit with his shoulder pads. Oh, okay. I thought y'all were saying somebody punched an old man. That's fucking wrong. Southern Cal back in the red zone. Under a minute to go until halftime. They're up 10-7. Caleb Williams hands off. Right up the gut for a couple of yards down to about the 10-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 8. First and 10 for LSU, start of the third quarter here. Jaden Daniels throws a hitch pass, caught across the 30. Makes it out to about the 32, picked up 3 or 4 yards there. Saban face looks like K-pop mammy. Oh, come on. We can't prove that. We can't prove that. 2nd and 6 for LSU. Jaden Daniels back to throw. Sits in the pocket for a half an hour. Makes a sandwich. Eats it. Now he takes off running. Picks up the first down and then scoots out of bounds. Well, he had all day to sit back there. I guess there was nowhere to go with the ball. So he took off running. Or it could be the fact that he's just a terrible passer. And that's why he took off running. In any case, it results in a first down for the corn dog. Did he use his falling and can't get up button?
Life alert.
Nick Saban's got a life alert? Wow. Wow. Jaden Daniels back to throw. Scrambling again. What a shock. Takes off running. What a shock. Picks up 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be second and about 6. EC Productions, what's up, buddy? Mount Implosion says Georgia versus Michigan in the finals. In the national championship game, you mean? That looks like the likely scenario right now. Big Steppa, thank you for the super chat. Who would give UJ the hardest game? Somebody that can throw the ball. And play defense. It looked like it was Ohio State until about 3 hours ago. Might still be Ohio State. Hey, Lou, how was the game? It was good. We had a good time. Weather was great. About 60 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. It was great. 2nd and 8 for Southern Cal on the 11. Flag down on the play. Caleb Williams in the pocket. Running for his life. Jesus, he's all the way back to the 40-yard line. Get rid of it, dude. Incomplete. I don't know what in the world was going on with that. Michigan beat the shit out of Ohio State 2 years in a row. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact. Michigan just scored again. Damn, that's sad. South Carolina versus Florida State. Pitt versus Purdue. North Carolina versus Texas. Clemson versus Tennessee. I'd watch every one of those games. You got the right idea, Cameron Smith. We need to put Cameron Smith in charge of setting up the bowl games. We need to put him in charge. Perkins got shaken up. I hope he's okay. I didn't see that. I hope he's all right. James Holly, thank you for the super chat. Lou, Florida versus Louisiana Raging Cajuns in the We Don't Want Sunbelt Billy Bowl. That would be great. Yeah, give me Florida against Sunbelt Billy's old team. I would love that. I'd watch that. Caleb, thank you for the super chat. He says, I hope you enjoyed yourself at the game today. Go Dogs. Also, do you think if LSU loses today that it helps Bama trying to get into the playoffs? Well, no, because LSU's not getting in anyway because they're losing to Georgia. Dude said Michigan just scored again. LOL, game over for a few hours. Yeah, I think that was kind of the joke. They just keep scoring and scoring. 3rd and 1 for the Corn Dog. Picks up the first down and then some. John Emery Jr. down inside the 20 to the 18. Yeah, touchdown Southern Cal, 16-7. Extra point will make it 17. 34 seconds to go until halftime. Here comes the extra point for the Trojans. 34 seconds to go until halftime. Kick is up and good. Southern Cal 17, Notre Dame 7. Michigan hasn't won in Columbus since 2022. Yeah. Yep. Ay, 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 ay. Robert S., thank you for the cash out, buddy, to help support the show today, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend. Is LSU struggling with a 4-win team? Yes, they are. Clemson hasn't lost at home until today. Yep, that's a fact, Caleb. That's a fact. It's a fact, Jack. Thought I had a drink. Left that damn thing over here for no good reason. I ain't got a lot of home training.
Well, you've been preoccupied with the trolls, too. So.
The trolls keep me on my toes. Don't they? The trolls. I love the trolls. I love you guys. I love you trolls. Travis Burnett. Thank you for the director's chair. Thank you. James Gassaway says, SC alum but a huge Dog fan. Proud of South Carolina this year, though. They definitely finished the season on a high note. Really, it was a weird season for South Carolina if you think about it, because they won 4 games this year that nobody thought they were going to win. And then they lost some games that you thought maybe they would win. They beat Texas A&M, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Clemson. It was hard to find a lot of people in the offseason that thought they were going to win any of those games. Then they end up losing to Florida 38-6, blown out by Arkansas, blown out by Georgia. It was a weird season for South Carolina. It's fascinating seeing you guys think I'm a male. I didn't think anybody thought you were a male. Your name is K-Pop Mammy. Home Slice, thank you for the super chat. I wanted to see Miami in the walk-on bowl again, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Are they still getting humiliated? Yeah, 21-0 now. Pitt's up on Miami 21-0. That's a damn shame. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Oklahoma up on Texas Tech. For the 1 or 2 people that might care. LSU driving down in the red zone. They're on the 19 of Texas A&M. 1st and 10. LSU down 17-10. Jaden Daniels in a shotgun, back to throw or pretend to throw. No, he does throw. Swing pass out to the running back, loses a couple of yards. Jaden Daniels might be the only quarterback in the SEC who's worse at throwing the ball downfield than Stetson Bennett is. Wow. Yeah, they might be. I'm starting a petition for Uncle Lou to replace Gary Danielson, says Mark Salyers. I appreciate the gesture, but unfortunately I don't have time. I don't have time to do that, unfortunately. Men absolutely cannot get pregnant, says James Gassaway. Uh-oh, John Emery Jr., touchdown, corn dog. That's going to tie the game up if the extra point is good. Robert, thank you for the super chat. My top 4, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and USC, if they went out, what's your thoughts? Yeah, if those teams went out, that will be your top 4 for sure. For sure. No question about it. I told you, Jack. Clemson going down. I don't know who Jack is. Emory's had a few of those plays now. What, touchdown runs? If y'all think I'm a man, that's fine. Done talking to idiots. That's K-Pop Mammy. Get him, Mammy. Mammy's going to make y'all go out in the backyard and pick your own switch. Mammy don't play around. Mammy, tell them you're going to make them go pick their own switch. Feels like 04-05 again, Lou. Fight on, Caleb for Heisman. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Enrique, I don't know if you were in here, that we were talking about the Heisman. A lot of people done played themselves out of it. I think if Caleb Williams can go for 300, 350 yards today, 3-4 touchdowns, and Southern Cal wins, I think he locks up the Heisman today. I think it'll be his. Slim Shady says 3 quarterbacks, 2 INTs, 2 fumbles, and the last original starting O-lineman is out. Time to pee on the fire and put old Yeller down. Yep, worst Miami team I've ever seen. It's been a disaster this year. There's just nothing good to say about Miami this year. They really are that bad. They just need to, transfer portal, recruiting. They probably need about 20 players to transfer out because they're cancer in the locker room. They need to get rid of all the Ed Reed, Ray Lewis bullshit. Get rid of everything that says 5 rings on it. Get rid of everything that says the U on it. uh, and stop acting like being good 25 years ago was making a difference today, because it's clearly not. It's clearly not. Damn, they're showing highlights of Clemson fumbling for no reason. Clemson can't hang on to the ball. Imagine losing to an unranked Oklahoma reject, Spencer Rattler. Yeah. I can't really imagine it, to be honest. I can't even imagine that. Lou, the UJ band showed you a lot of love today. That was cool. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm used to, when I go to Georgia games, people recognizing me and saying hey, and asking for pictures and stuff like that. And I always stop and do it. I don't mind doing that at all. I like meeting people when I'm out. But when the band came up and asked me to take pictures with them, that made my day. That made my day. You know, people usually get excited if they meet me or something, which I think is weird. But when the band had me come out in the middle of into the dog walk thing and take a picture with them, like, that was cool. I enjoyed that. I was a little starstruck. I enjoyed that. That was cool. Makes you think how many players watch this channel. Look, I love every player on the team, but I just can't hide my emotions and my feelings. I can't do that. If I think somebody plays bad, I say it. My favorite player of all time, probably, personally, is Rodrigo Blankenship. And when he missed that field goal against South Carolina, I went nuts about it. I can't help it. And the same thing, when Stetson plays bad, I can't help but come on here and say, guess what, Stetson played bad. But when he plays good, I come on here and say that too. You know, when Keely Ringo didn't play good in the first half today, I have to say, guess what, Keely Ringo didn't play good in the first half today. I can't lie. Funky Fudge says, FYI, there's a video of an Oregon player sucker punching an OSU fan. Yeah, I saw that. Or I haven't seen it, but someone brought that up earlier. I'll have to find that on YouTube and maybe talk about it tomorrow on the Your Season is Over video. James Gassaway, thank you for the super chat. How many senior days has Taquavius been in now? This was his third one. This was his third one. I'm pretty sure. LSU blew Arkansas out 13-10. Yeah, they showed them. They showed them. You got to give LSU credit. They're in over their head here against a 4-win A&M team, but they're hanging in there. Mount Implosion, thank you for the super chat. If A&M loses, it's because of inferior facilities. Us Knowles only knew when we saw the Christmas tree out front. What, that he was leaving? Yeah. Yeah. Enrique, thank you for the super chat again. Oregon and Michigan State equals the new felon U. Yeah, I got to look into the Oregon thing, but yeah, those Michigan State players did get charged this past week. Incomplete pass on 3rd and 4 for Texas A&M means they got to punt the ball right back to LSU now. If TCU, LSU, and Southern Cal loses, oh my God. Dude, Bama, stop with the Bama shit. Bama's not a good team. Tennessee's got 2 losses and beat Bama. Let's put them in too. Jesus Christ. Bama's not getting in. Bama's not getting in. Just enjoy the Citrus Bowl. And better luck next year. There's not a chance on earth Alabama is going to finish ranked higher than Ohio State. If we lose to a 3-loss LSU, does it hurt our college football case? No. No, it would hurt our seeding. If we lose to LSU in the SEC championship game, we got to play the playoff game in Arizona instead of Atlanta. That would be what that means. How the fuck does anyone think Bama has a chance? I don't know. If you say it enough, you'll believe it. Look, I would love to play Bama in the playoffs because they're not any good. So Bama fans don't even want to be in the playoffs. You're gonna get embarrassed. Bama fans don't even want to be there. Ringo's interception in the national championship game on a Spanish broadcast, funniest thing you'll ever see. I've seen that. Yeah, I have seen that. Saban will probably get in the national championship TV booth to give his opinion. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. After Mexico got dog walked this morning by Argentina, I need this dominant SC performance, but I'm not looking forward to getting it from the dogs. Oh, you mean losing to Georgia, I think is what you mean. Yeah, if everybody wins out, I think Georgia would be 1 and Southern Cal would be 4. And they would play in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Bama fans said we only won last year because their wide receivers went down. Meanwhile, they haven't replaced them. Yeah, still ain't replaced them. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Corn dog. Scoop and score. Scoop and score. What happened, corn dog? A&M retakes the lead. Turnover by LSU results in a scoop and score for the A&M defense. The G.I. Joes are going nuts in the stands now. Wooden guns everywhere. Crew cuts and wooden guns galore. Crew cuts and wooden guns everywhere you look. ROTC uniforms 2 sizes too small. As a Georgia fan, I want LSU to win, says Let's Go. James Gassaway says they're going to do Natty broadcast with Jimbo again, LOL. I don't know. They did it with Dan Mullen last year, I believe. And now he works for ESPN. ROTC better than LSU. That's a shame right there. But right now, it's true. Right now, at least, it's true. During the dog walks today, the cheerleaders were walking by, and I said, God damn, they don't look like that at Georgia Tech. I can promise you that. Didn't I?
Yeah, the guy standing next to you loved that.
Everybody around us started laughing. I turned around and I said, am I lying? The guy said, nah, man, you ain't lying. If your kid got offered a spot on the Sucknut roster, how would you react? Oh, man, I've said this a bunch of times before. I'm a Georgia fan, yes, but I'm a dad first. If my son was good enough to go to any college, whether it was on some type of athletic deal or an academic scholar, whatever, I want my kid to go to college wherever he wants to go, wherever is best for him to go. It wouldn't bother me one bit if my kid went to Ohio State or Florida or South Carolina or Alabama or, I mean, you name it. When it comes to that, I separate college football from what would be best for my children. Tennessee is going to the Sugar Bowl versus Clemson? No. If Tennessee goes to the Sugar Bowl, they'll play a Big 12 team, most likely. Or maybe Notre Dame. But it looks like not Notre Dame now. But so yeah, they'll probably play a Big 12 team. Tennessee versus Clemson Sugar Bowl. I feel like I just commented on that. Honest opinion on Kendall Milton, not as good as I hoped. Not as good as I hoped. At least so far he hasn't been. Does Ohio State still get in? Well, it depends what else happens. I mean, they're not getting in over Southern Cal or TCU if Southern Cal and TCU went out. But if Southern Cal or TCU lose, Ohio State would be next in line, I think. Lou, what do you prefer to see, scoop and score or pick six? Well, I'll tell you what I like to see is fat people touchdowns. So if I can get a scoop and score from a fat defensive lineman, I'll take that over a pick six. I love big guy touchdowns, fat guy touchdowns. LSU's taking an L, and A&M still won't be bowl eligible. That's pathetic and sad in every imaginable way. But at least as of right now, it looks extremely possible. What bowl game you see Ohio State in? There's no question about it. They'll be in the Rose Bowl if they're not in the playoffs. They'll 100% be in the Rose Bowl if they're not in the playoffs. Just like last year. Just like last year. Lou, remember bumbling, stumbling Melvin Ingram on the fake punt? I don't think Melvin Ingram. No, I don't think I remember that. Josh Hopeful says, did you get my PayPal? Let's see. If you sent it a while ago, I got it, and I already read it. Jay Shipes and Joshua T 2 times. Yeah, I already read those. If that's you, Jose Hopeful. I don't know if it is. I sent it a few days ago. I'm sure I got it, but the PayPal isn't going to be from your YouTube name, which is Jose Hopeful. So, but I'm sure I got it if you sent it. Thank you. They going to do Natty broadcast with Jimbo. I read that. After Mexico got dog walked, read that. Yeah, I'm all caught up. Buckeyes suck. 79. Thank you for the super chat. Another who's in question.
Are y'all just now tuning in? I mean, come on.
Who's in if Southern Cal loses? I can't even. Who's in if USC loses 10-2 OSU? Wait a minute, what? 10-2 OSU? OSU's not 10-2, 11 I can't make heads or tails of this. Who's in if UFC losses? Who's in if USC losses? 10-2 OSU. OSU's not going 10-2. So right away, so nothing you say after that is going to make any sense because who's in if USC losses 10-2 OSU? Even if you're saying USC 10-2, USC's not going to be 10-2. It's impossible for USC to finish the season 10-2. If they lose today, they'll be 10-2, but then they got to play next week. So they'd either be 10-3 or You have to do a better job of thinking your own shit through. I can't be the one that has to decipher what it is you're trying to say. You've got to type it out in an understandable way. Raj Light says option number 1, death, lethal injection, one last meal. Option 2, beat the fuck out of Gary Danielson, firing squad. Give me number 2. I take that to mean you don't like Gary Danielson very much. Buckeye Suck says 10-2 UT, 11-1 OSU, 10-2 Bama, Ohio State. Who would in lieu 2019 LSU versus 2021 Georgia? From now on, I'm not reading or responding to any comments that are in broken English. There's too many comments I could be reading to spend 45 minutes trying to decipher what brand of broken English y'all are speaking. You've got to type the comments out where they're understandable. What do you think about Joe Milton? I think the same thing John Hopeful thinks. He's not as good as Hendon Hooker. Not as good as Hendon Hooker. Ohio State man, thank you for the super chat. Pathetic performance by Ohio State today. I agree. Especially, you lost to Michigan last year, and you had to hear for an entire year about how you were soft and you got dominated on the line of scrimmage and yada, yada, yada. Then you spent a whole year trying to fix that, and it somehow got worse. That's not good. You got humiliated by a backup running back. They ran for almost 300 yards on you. You were on roller skates all day defensively. The offense didn't play well. C.J. Stroud gave the Heisman away. I agree. Not even all trolling aside, it was not a good performance by Ohio State at all today. At home, great weather, so all the excuses from last year are out the window, and same result. Dominated on the lines of scrimmage, out-physicaled from beginning of the game to the end. Not a good look. I couldn't agree with you more. Boomhauer all over the place. Thank you, James. Zivic HD, thank you, sir. He says, USC and UJ will be a very good game first round, in my opinion. I think UJ would blow Southern Cal out. I think UJ would probably score 40 or 50 on them. Southern Cal does not have a very good defense at all. I don't think that game would be competitive at all. And most playoff games that we've seen throughout history have not been competitive. So it's not crazy to suggest that a first-round playoff game would be a blowout whenever 90% of the playoff games have been blowouts. I don't think Southern Cal right now could hang with Georgia. I don't even think that would be close. Yeah, I just don't think that would be close. They're showing all the highlights from Overthrow Joe. Overthrowing everybody all game. 21-0. Tennessee's still up. Big run. It's going to be 28-0 now. Big run on the ground, up the gut. Tennessee, about a 50-yard touchdown run. Be 28-0 now. Just looked up and noticed that LSU's still losing. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Texas A&M 24, Corn Dogs 17. Second half just now underway. Southern Cal and Notre Dame. Southern Cal 17-7 over the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame gets the ball first here to start the second half. LSU's looking at a 2nd and 6 here with 3:50 to go in the third. In Texas A&M territory on the 32. Jaden Daniels back to throw, looking, scrambling around. Let me guess, he's going to run. Nope. Instead, he makes a terrible throw. Incomplete pass 3rd and 6. Now you know why he runs all the time. He's a terrible thrower of the football. Backup running back with one arm. That's a damn shame. Bama shouldn't get in over Tennessee, to be honest. That's a debatable, that's a back and forth thing. Bama lost on a last-second field goal to Tennessee on the road at night, a game where Alabama missed a potential game-winning field goal 15 seconds prior to that. Whereas Tennessee got blown out on the road by an unranked team. So that's a debate. That's a fair thing to debate. Who should be ranked higher, a 10-2 Tennessee or a 10-2 Bama? I can see an argument for both sides there. Not that it matters, but if Bama and Tennessee were to play tomorrow, I think everybody would pick Bama to win except Tennessee fans, including Vegas, which would pick Bama by about 9 points. That's true, but Bama's other loss is to a team Tennessee beat by 30. Yeah, that's true too. But Bama's 2 losses are by a combined 5 or 6 points. South Carolina beat you by 87 or whatever it was. Third and 16 for LSU. Let's see if they can keep the drive alive. 3:19 to go. Back around midfield now after that penalty. 4 wide receivers. Jaden Daniels back to throw. Under pressure, steps up, throws, incomplete. Another terrible pass to a wide open wide receiver. 4th and 16. Boy, Jaden Daniels can't throw. I don't know who's worse, Anthony Richardson, Spencer Rattler, or Jaden Daniels. When it comes to throwing the ball, I don't know who's worse. A&M hitting hard tonight, even though they aren't any good. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Southern Cal. Yeah, if everybody wins out, that will be your Final Four. South Carolina is the real number 2 in the SEC East. I'd have to check the standings, and I just did and determined that was a lie. So that's just not how it works. It's not how it works, unfortunately, for South Carolina. I see UNC winning the ACC. I don't. But I didn't see South Carolina beating Clemson either, so maybe they do lose to North Carolina, but I'm probably still going to pick Clemson in that game. Ferris, thank you for the super chat. He says Ohio State is better than Michigan on paper, though. Oh, that's true. That's true. Texas A&M is better than every team they've played on paper except Alabama. Didn't seem to matter. Didn't seem to matter. Did the playoff committee have the balls to put Michigan ahead of Georgia? I don't think it's got anything to do with balls, but no, I don't. I doubt Michigan jumps Georgia. I doubt it. Did Notre Dame just fumble the damn ball? What is this? Notre Dame just fumbled the damn ball. Southern Cal recovered. Boy, they can't get out of their own way. They're magically atrocious. You like that one?
I like that one.
Notre Dame, they're magically atrocious. A&M on the ground. Up close to a first down, 2 and also. Up close to a first down, 2 and also. Up close to a first down, 2 and also. You with the damn couch again. It's not a couch. It's not a couch. It's not a couch. Where are all the sucknut fans that were talking shit to me yesterday? Uh-oh. You're not accusing Ohio State fans of hiding, are you?
I just saw A Ohio in the comments.
Yeah, I've seen some in here, too. They've been in here. They've been in here. Second and 7. A&M completes a pass out across midfield. Looks like a first down to me. Moves the sticks. Could LSU be about to get blown out?
That's a great question.
Could I be about to have one more cup of coffee? But then that's it. Even if I ask for another one, you have to tell me no. Yeah, and also,
Regular coffee or?
yeah, no sugar. Just coffee, no sugar or nothing, and then just rinse that out and just want a glass of water too. Yeah, thank you, accept me. No, just water's good. Another big play by, I mean, literally every time you turn around, this LSU defense is just getting eaten alive. Now, one of two things is true. Texas A&M is really, really good, or LSU is not. Which one is it? Is Texas A&M really good, or is it that LSU is not any good? Which one? Which one of those things is true? And I think we all know which one it is. Next Saturday is going to be great, corn dogs. Next Saturday is going to be great. Can we look at the, well, why am I asking? I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, within reason. I want to look at the game times for next weekend. Now, for most of you, this won't matter because your teams suck, and you're just doesn't have anything to do with you. But this does have a lot to do with me. Pac-12 championship game, 8 o'clock Friday. Big 12 championship game, 12 o'clock Saturday. SEC title game, 4 o'clock. ACC and Big 10, 8 o'clock. Okay, so what will I do next weekend? I will definitely stream the Pac-12 title game Friday night at 8. I'm going to stream at least 2 time slots. One of them is going to be 4 o'clock. The other one will either be 12 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Probably 8 o'clock since there's 2 games on would be smart, wouldn't it? Probably be a smart thing to do. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Why is chop blocks a penalty? Because it's extremely dangerous. It's a penalty for the health and safety of the players. I put $100 on Notre Dame, shaking my head, not looking good at the moment. I agree with your assessment. It's not looking good for you at the moment. It's not looking good for you at the moment. Southern Cal just scored again. It's 24-7 now. It's 24-7 now. So yeah, I agree with your assessment in that. What's Miami doing? 28-0. Miami's losing at halftime. What kind of assessment do we need to make on that? 24-7 now, Southern Cal up. Hey. Poverty. Wish I could get rid of that UCF game. I don't even want to see it. It's in my way. You should be able to rearrange these games, but ESPN is so jackleg it won't let you. I know what I can do. I'll help y'all out because I care about y'all. Let's make that. No, I can't do that. I can do this, though. I can do that. Make it bigger. How about that? I'll make it bigger. How about that? How about that? There you go. Oh, yeah, at least we can see LSU and Notre Dame. Nobody cares about Tennessee. By nobody, I mean literally not a soul on planet Earth. Andy says, thanks for the content this year. You're welcome, Andy. I appreciate you watching. And it's not over yet. We've got 6, 7 more weeks of college football. Yep. And, you know, I do this year-round. I don't just do this during the part of the season where we play games. There's no such thing as an off-season to me. There's just the part of the season where we don't play games. This year is going to be absolutely insane when it comes to transfer portal shit. So even when the games end, there's going to be plenty to talk about in the world of college football this offseason. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Seen a cash app in that? Let me check it in that. Let me check it in that. Playoff team in that? No, you got to be kidding me. A&M scored again? You got to be kidding. No way. No way. LSU, what are y'all doing? Evan, thank you for the cash app. He says, Dogs are the best team in the land. I couldn't agree more, Evan. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, sir. Kaiser Seagold, thank you for the super chat. Ohio State had a 4-star recruit on a visit to the game, and after he immediately committed to Michigan and danced with our players while still wearing his OSU visit lanyard. No. Is that true? Wow, that is bad. That is bad. If that's true, that's really bad. The route is on. Texas A&M 31, LSU 17. This is pitiful and pathetic, piss poor and sad. Hey, Lou, is UCLA going to the Big Ten? Yes. The Board of Regents or whatever out there has to, or the Board of Governors, whatever it's called, has to approve it. But the Big Ten has officially invited UCLA to the Big Ten, and UCLA is officially accepted. Yep. I told you USC was going to be in the playoff. Okay? I'll take your word for it. Greninja XB, thank you for the super chat. I feel like Auburn is hiring Freeze so they can actually fire a coach for having an affair with a staff member. Speaking of Hugh Freeze, guess who was at the Georgia game today? And these people seem to pop up at every sporting event, so I don't think this is unique to Georgia games. But these people who stand at the entrance to sporting events with like megaphones and shit and signs and yell at you as you're walking into the game that you're going to hell because you're putting football ahead of Jesus or something like that. Have you seen these nut jobs? They're everywhere. They come down here for the Masters and do the same thing. They stand out front of the golf course and just yell at everybody that's going into the Masters that they're going to hell for worshiping golf instead of Jesus. It's weird. They're always at UJ campus, says Evan. Yeah, I've seen them almost every game I've been to for the last few years. I've seen them there. But I see them other places too. It's weird. You know what it is? You know what it is? You know why I feel bad for them is that they're just completely wasting their time. I've never seen one single person at a sporting event that was about to walk in, ticket in hand, and then they heard a stranger yelling at them that they're going to hell. And so they stopped right at the gate and went, well, fuck this game. I'm going to go here and I don't want to go to hell. And go over there and see what the yelling man is talking about. Like, the success rate of that's got to be like less than 0%. Like, that just doesn't seem like a good way to go about it. Like, yeah, I know you spent hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars on this trip to come to this college football game, but did you know that because of that you're going to hell? You might want to just throw your tickets away and come over here. I mean, it's just weird. I don't see how that, like, the success rate there has to be very low for those people. It's got to be really low. I told you USC. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember when you told me that a few minutes ago, too. Green Jabib, thank you for the super chat. Is that anywhere near East Jabib? We passed East Jabib on the way home from Athens today. I sent you the video of the Oregon player on Instagram. You're going to have to send it somewhere else. I haven't been on Instagram in years. I'm not going on there just to look at a punch video. You can email it to me or something. Jimbo getting an extension actually, you don't even have to email it to me. I'll find it in the morning when I do the Your Season Is Over video. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat. Jimbo getting an extension with this upset. Yeah, they need to sign him to another 10-year deal. Put him on 20 years. Hell. Jaden Daniels cut down at the 30, and he's hurt. Uh-oh, not good. Got hit low. Hopefully that's like a bruise situation because that was a hard hit. It looked like in his thigh area. Let's hope it's not a knee or something. I don't think it is. I think it's just like it looks like he just took like a hard hit like to this part of his upper leg. Let's hope that's all it is. There's also a flag on the play. Sup, Lou, I met you at halftime. I was the black guy. Now, what if I met multiple black people? I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Yeah, well, I know who you are. I know, I'm just kidding with you. I know who you are. Yeah. And I remember you. You did? Did you put anything in it? Do you have to put anything in it when you make it that way? No, you don't have to add anything. No milk, no nothing. That's easy then. Yeah, that's easy. I hope you enjoyed the game, Ryan. I enjoyed meeting you. I hope you had a good time. Do you go to a bunch of games? I'm the black guy too, Lou.
Oh, you know what? As we were walking back to the car, didn't we meet?
Yeah, we actually did meet several.
Yeah, we did.
People of all different types of races and colors. I was just kind of kidding around, but so do y'all go to a lot of games or what? Because I don't get to a lot of games. Chris Williams says, Lou, where did you sit at the game today? I was in section 136, about halfway up. Section 136, row 26 or 24.
26.
Row 26.
I did Frothy Tavern. It was very cool, and yeah, I had a really good time.
Legend has it, Taters are still cuddling at midfield. Look, I believe you. Yeah, I believe you. The fans ain't even left yet.
They're being supportive, supportive to each other.
Yeah, Miles said, funny how South Carolina fans rushed the field since Clemson fans couldn't do it. Why could yes, Clemson fan Miles, I don't know if you know this or not. Clemson rushes the field, win or lose. So yes, Clemson rushed that wasn't South Carolina field fans rushing the field today at Clemson. That was Clemson fans. Clemson fans stormed the field, win or lose. What I said was true, and he is an Ohio native, says Kaiser Siegel. I don't even remember what it is you said that you're now trying to say was true. Oh, about the recruit. I got you. What I said was true, and he's an Ohio native. I'm going to. 4-star visits Ohio State for the game, commits to Michigan afterwards. Wow. That's embarrassing. I'm writing that down. Ow. I can't get back up. Okay, hold on. I got it. I'm writing this down for the Your Season Is Over video. So, kid visits Ohio State, commits to Michigan. Wow. Poverty. And the other thing is what Nick Saban got, what'd you say, donkey kicked in the face? No, Oregon player punches somebody or something. I'll look into this stuff tomorrow for the Your Season Is Over video. Thanks, accept me. Thanks for that link. Thank you. I'm going to come up with something for that. Yeah, copious notes in that. I'll come up with something for that for the Your Season Is Over video tomorrow. Make sure I'm pretty sure I can work that in some type of way. Green Ninja says, I couldn't make this message longer, LOL. I think YouTube limits the message length based on the amount of the super chat, I think. Miles Brown, thank you for the super chat. How was the game experience? What were your thoughts on the Georgia game? Well, they started off slow. I mean, Georgia Tech scored on their first possession. But I even looked at her when they scored, and I said they won't score again. And they didn't score again until like 2 minutes to go in the game or whatever. But I didn't think Georgia played very well in the first half. I didn't think Stetson Bennett played very well all day. Keely Ringo looked off in the first half, too, defensively. But I'm not going to complain about a 37-14 win over Georgia Tech in the last. I mean, we're 12-0 for the second year in a row in the regular season. I'm going to try to, glass half full deal with that. At least I'm going to try to. I love how nobody thinks we have a shot against Georgia, says Michigan man Jason. Well, you're in luck. If you love that nobody thinks you have a shot against Georgia, you're in luck. Because nobody thinks that. You might be the luckiest man on earth. You might be the luckiest man on earth. Michigan State, Texas A&M, and Miami no bowl is insane. Yeah, well, especially for Texas A&M and Miami. I wasn't expecting much from Michigan State. 2nd and 4 for Southern Cal. Big play up the middle. Notre Dame has scored again, though, 24-14. Southern Cal up 10, 5 minutes to go in the third. But that was a big running play for Southern Cal right up the gut. 1st and 10 Trojans. Tards up 42-0 over Vandy. Why does every white running back remind a broadcaster of Toby Gerhart and every big black QB of Cam Newton? Yeah, people keep telling me that Ladd McConkey reminds them of Cooper Kupp. So he reminds you of the best receiver in the NFL. Okay. People have been doing that forever, though. Remember when the best white linebacker in college football was the next Brian Urlacher every year? People always do that. Beeble or Beeble. And people are people, so. What about TCU? What about them? They won big today over Iowa State. Go Dogs, world champions. The announcer said that today about Ladd. Yeah. The broadcaster on TV today said he reminded him of Cooper Kupp. Did he really? See, I was at the game, so I had no idea, but that's what people say. Cooper Kupp. So Ladd McConkey is going to be the next best receiver in the NFL. Lou, any scenario that you...
Oh, my head hurts.
Any scenario that you can see Bama realistically. Yeah. You know who Marty McFly is? Who asked me that? Chris Williams. Chris, do you know who Marty McFly is? Google Marty McFly. And then what you're going to need the following things. An old crazy scientist. A 1984 DeLorean, silver. A flux capacitor. And unspent plutonium. You're going to need those 4 things. Now, I can't tell you what to do with those things. That's what the old white scientist is for. He'll know what to do. But then, yes, Bama could make the playoffs. Zach Bolton says Stetson the next Tim Tebow. 2 rings and no NFL hopes.
Damn.
Stetson's not in the same world as Tim Tebow. Bruce Newville, thank you for the super chat. I PayPal you too, Lou. Oh, I should check it. I'm bad about checking PayPal. I apologize for that. Uh-oh. A&M. We need to do a welfare check.
You think?
Yeah. Welfare check. Tell her don't tune into my stream. Don't bother watching. Ah, I see you, Xavier. He says, "What's up, Lou? I met you at the game at halftime. I was the tall black guy with a jersey over with the white hoodie." Yes, I do remember you, sir. I do remember you. Hope y'all enjoyed the second half of the game. I enjoyed the second half of the game much better than I enjoyed the first half. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. Dylan says, "Did y'all have fun at the game?" We had a great time, Dylan. Yeah, we had a really good time. The weather ended up being great, which was a big question mark earlier in the week because they were calling for some rain. But by kickoff, it was 60 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. It was a great day for football down here. Aggies going 12-0 next year. What about 8-4? 2nd and 6 for Texas A&M. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They're up 31-17, just absolutely destroying the Corn Dogs. LSU's going to have to wear a diaper to the SEC championship game. Stetson was obviously affected by 2-mile-an-hour wind. Well, I mean, you might not be wrong. Caleb Williams is the best player in the country, and it's not close. Yeah, I said earlier in the stream, if he has a good game today and Southern Cal wins, I think he can lock up the Heisman. That stadium is awfully quiet. What stadium? Which stadium you talking about? Damn, they can't tackle that man. Texas A&M's running right through LSU now. You yelling at Staquavius when Stetson walked by was gold during the dog walk. Yeah. Thank you again, Bruce, for the super chat. Will, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Where is Tiger Corn Dog in the chat?" Wait, he's gone. You had plenty to say earlier. Now, nowhere to be found. It's weird how that works, isn't it? It's real weird how that works. Daniel says, "Make sure your nephew gets a fresh haircut in the playoffs in Natty." Yeah, oh yeah. I might have Staquavius looking right. I'm going to have Staquavius looking right for the playoffs.
Make sure
Please
the
believe.
lines are clean.
Please believe that. I'm going to make sure he's good to go. I'm going to make sure he's good to go. Don't you worry. Michael Dominguez, thank you for the sticker. I think that is. Make sure. Oh, I read it already. I wonder why Stetson, after 14 years in college, hasn't graduated. That is a little weird. I don't know if he keeps changing majors or what the deal is with that. I don't know. A.D. Mitchell needs to come back. Well, he's on the George Pickens plan, so just forget about A.D. Mitchell. I formation for A&M just outside or just on the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. H-Chain breaks the first tackle. Barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage, but he does make it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it, though. 2nd and goal now from the 10. Hey, Bruce, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you joining the channel. I told you, Uncle Lou, my Telep said Michigan will run all over Georgia. Looks like I'm right. I don't know what a Telep is. But yeah, I guess your Telep was right. I don't know. Except... It's not my job to figure out what he meant. It's his job to type what he actually means.
Is that what is it?
I don't know. Stetson will be selling used cars next year. I don't know. I don't think he might not ever have to work again in Georgia. They might just take care of him around here.
Especially, if, yeah. 2 days in a row. Yes.
That looks like a catch by Vandy. Garrett says, I love you no matter if Bama stays in your head. I haven't talked about Bama today except for to answer stupid-ass comments or stupid-ass questions in the comment section about Bama. Other than that, I haven't mentioned them. I haven't had a reason to. But if someone asks about Bama and I answer the question, then I guess that's not getting Bama out my head. I don't know. It's hard for me to understand the mind of the insane because I, too, am insane. Was at the UJ game today. Have you ever seen so many reviews and odd penalties? Was weird today. Yeah, they called Georgia for, what was it? Illegally aiding a ball carrier.
Yeah, I was like...
Georgia got penalized today for illegally aiding a ball carrier. So you know when the running backs run now and they run into the defensive line, then the offensive lineman will push them down the field like that? Well, it was that type of deal. But Darnell Washington got tired of pushing Kenny McIntosh, so he just picked Kenny McIntosh up like a rag doll and carried him about 5 yards, slung him over his shoulder like a laundry sack, and just carried him about 5 yards downfield, and they called a penalty, illegally aiding the ball carrier. It was kind of funny. Yeah, LSU is in the SEC championship game no matter what. They already clinched the West. Georgia is lucky college football sucks this year. Yeah, don't forget about last year, too. Don't forget about last year when Georgia won the national title, too. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about how lucky we were last year, too. So, yeah, Georgia's going to be lucky 2 years in a row with a national title. What are the odds? UGA versus USC, maybe. That could be the first round matchup if everybody wins out. If TCU's already won today. If they win the Big 12 next week and Southern Cal keeps this lead and then wins the Pac-12 next week, then yeah, I think you'll see Georgia versus Southern Cal in round one of the playoffs at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Look at the UCF score. What? Okay, I looked at it. I just looked at it. I just looked at it. Would you look at the UCF score, he says. Is it going to jump out and scare me or something? Or do you just want me to look at it? Touchdown, Texas A&M. Look at the UCF score. I'm still looking at it. Nothing has happened yet.
What are you wiping the windows?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Did you look at it? Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it.
Wants to put the thing away in its Long Island, New York garage every day of its life.
Oh, go figure. Look at this. Oh, look at
Got it
this.
for $700. It's real clean. You can work on it. It's whatever. The things are not packed.
I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, nothing happened. I did look at it, though. I did look at it. Just look at it. Lou, I intend to go up and ask Ryan Day if he will recruit me to play offensive line or defensive line since I got pushed around easily a lot. Yeah, hey, public service announcement. Public service announcement. If you were bullied in high school, if you were pushed around, if your lunch money was taken on a daily basis, Ohio State wants you for offense and defensive line. Apply at Ryan Day's office. Thanks, accept me. It's an excellent point you make. You know what? There's another video idea right there. Another video idea right there. Copious notes in that. Copious notes in that. And also in 2. Texas A&M, wait a minute. What is that right? Sometimes my contacts get blurry. Does that say Texas A&M 38, LSU 17?
That would be correct.
Jesus H. Christ. Southern Cal's now up 31-14 over Notre Dame. None of these games are going to be any good tonight, are they? They're all going to be blowouts. Munkin's headset, thank you for the super chat. Brian Kelly looks like he is literally pissing down his leg right now. That's not piss. Sir, that's not piss. You know what it is. You know what that is, and it's not piss. It's not piss. It's just not. No, it's not Kool-Aid either. You know what it is. Have you ever saw how lucky, LOL? God forbid we are actually good. Yeah, I was telling people earlier, can you imagine if Georgia ever started letting a legitimate quarterback play? Or we ever started getting elite wide receivers? It wouldn't even be fair to the rest of college football. Look how bad we're humiliating y'all with a walk-on quarterback and a bunch of wide receivers that probably wouldn't even play anywhere else. And we're still beating everybody by, I mean, if Georgia got a legitimate quarterback and a couple of wide receivers, it wouldn't even be fair to the rest of college football. Enrique, thank you for the super chat. Lou, without further ado, I'm taking my talents to Soft Tissue University. I mean, Sucknut State. I mean, Ohio State. Sorry. Yeah, that's about right. A real thought, though, what kind of excuses the Sucknuts will make for the game? I am curious to see that. I don't know what excuses they're going to use this go-round. LSU just needs to forfeit the SEC championship. Unfortunately, they're probably going to show up and get humiliated. 2nd and 6, Jaden Daniels sacked. Oh, nope, gets away. Wow. Down inside the 5. Jaden Daniels making something out of nothing there. He can run around now. There's no question about it. He can run around. Ohio State only lost because the weather was too windy with 0-mile-per-hour wind. Maybe it wasn't windy enough. Maybe it wasn't windy enough today for Ohio State. You know, it's possible. It's possible. Stetson Bennett has made history. Respect the G. Kelly hasn't had a bad year for his first year. No, that's true. That is 100% true. LSU has not had a bad year for Brian Kelly's first year. They're just not a very good team in terms of being able to compete or beat the number one team in the country at a neutral site. I mean, that's just not going to happen. They couldn't even beat Florida State at a neutral site. Sunny weather got in the players' eyes. Alabama had a legitimate QB and elite wide receivers in 2013. Look how that turned out. 2013. They had an elite QB in 2013? I don't think they did. You're thinking of Auburn. Auburn had an elite QB. No, that was 2010. 2013. I don't remember what happened in 2013. That was the year before the playoffs started. I don't remember what happened at the end of 2013. I agree. I didn't read that the first 15 times you typed it. I'm probably not going to read it the second 15 times you type it. Alabama lost to Auburn on a kick 6. So, okay. I remember the kick 6. I just didn't remember the year. But, okay, so trying to figure out what the point is, though. This year's Your Season of Over videos have to be some of the best. I have such a good time with those videos. I love those videos. Quiet Kid, what's up, buddy? He says, you know the ACC is bad when Duke wins 8 games with a first-year head coach. I didn't think about it that way, but that is kind of proof there. Miles says, Lou, I feel so honored that you would use my comment. I hope you have a blessed rest of your evening. Yeah, I'm going to make videos or either – I've got several notes I've taken from the comments tonight that I'm either going to do something about in the Your Season is Over video tomorrow or maybe even make a video about it. Also in 2. Daniels just broke his ankle. Not good. Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, he went down again. Looked like he was holding that same leg, though, that he got.
How do you know he broke his... No, come on. He didn't break his ankle. Please tell me that's not true. Please tell me that's not true. You hate... I don't want to see that. Maybe he just twisted it. He went down hard. Looked bad. Let me rewind it. I hope he didn't break his ankle.
I hope not either. I missed him going down, but I saw him down.
All right, here we go. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, his right. Yeah, somebody fell right on the back of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again. That didn't look good. Y'all were right. Or I wonder if it's his Achilles, maybe either too.
Wow.
I heard tearing your Achilles is one of the most painful things you can do. I'm not saying that's what it was, but he did. He landed right on the back of his. It looked like he landed right on the back of his lower leg, like where your Achilles is. But yeah, y'all are right. That didn't look good.
What about that hamstring injury that D4 got at the Slavs? You remember that?
Well, that's because he's a slob. Jay Daniels is a world-class athlete.
That's true.
I mean, Pigskin Pete broke a rib running.
And falling. Not once, but twice.
I mean, you know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to break a rib running? But, Uncle Lou, you think if Stetson Bennett throw 5 touchdowns and run for 2 touchdowns would be invited to New York? I don't know. I don't know what makes you think there would ever be a game where Stetson Bennett had 7 touchdowns. But no, I don't. LSU was losing to the SEC version of Iowa. Wow, that's bad. Where's Brock going to transfer, you think? What? Brock who? I know you're not talking about Brock Bowers, so who you talking about? Uncle Lou, you think it's... I read that one. Lou, I guess the Heisman is between Drake and Caleb. Is there a third option? Who would you pick? I don't know. I'd give it to Caleb Williams. The weather intentionally chose to sit out during the Michigan-Ohio State game because the weather is a Michigan fan and they knew they wouldn't be needed. Notre Dame just scored again. Notre Dame trying to make this interesting here. My Sooners are getting a butt whooping. What? They were winning last time I looked. Oh, yeah, they are losing now. Still the third quarter. They could come back. Nikki C., thank you for the super chat. Do you agree the Big Ten should get rid of divisions? Why should the Big Ten championship be between Purdue and Michigan when the top 3 in the Big Ten East are better than Purdue? I don't really have a preference between divisions or non-divisions, but it seems that's the way everything is headed, is to do away with divisions. So seems like that's probably what they'll do too. I believe he meant, Brock Vandergriff? Oh, I don't know where he's transferring to. I have no idea. John Hopeful outdid Butch Jones. We are now champions of life. That's true. Butch Jones could only win 9 games. John Hopeful somehow won 10. Big 12 model is better than divisions. Yeah, but you can only do the Big 12 model if you've got less than 12 teams. The Big 12 model is going away next year. The Big 12 can't even do the Big 12 model next year. They'll have too many teams. They're going to have 16 teams next year. They're not all going. They can't all play each other. You don't play 15 games. You'd have to, in a 16-team conference, you'd have to play 15 games to do the Big 12 model. Lou, what was your dumbest college football prediction of the year, record game, anything? I think I had Miami at 9-3 or 10-2. I think I might have had Texas A&M at 9-3. Both of those were dumb in hindsight. Ohio State, Michigan twice a year. Big Ten. I mean, if you want to make it harder for your conference to get into the playoff, then do away with divisions. If that's your goal, if your goal is to make it harder for your conference to make it to the playoffs, then do away with divisions. Michigan right now is guaranteed to go to the playoffs because they're playing a shitty team from the West. If they had to turn around and play Ohio State again next week, maybe they lose, and then the Big Ten gets nobody in the playoffs. So if that's what you want to do. I don't know who sits around going, what can I do to make it as hard as possible for somebody from my conference to make it to the playoffs? I know. Let's make them play twice. Lou, historically, who is Georgia's biggest rival? Well, Florida, I guess. You might get different answers to that question depending on who you ask. I would say probably Florida. Daniel's back in the game. That's good news for LSU. Looks like a pass interference penalty, too. Everyone is getting rid of divisions. That way the best teams play the best. They'll expand the playoffs so all champions go and maybe 6 at large. Yeah. Once they go to 12 teams, it'll make it easier for average teams to get in, like Bama and Tennessee. Lou, how is Florida a rivalry when Florida beat Georgia every single year up until 2017? Well, first of all, that's not even accurate at all. Florida only has a winning record. Florida and Georgia have been playing for 9 decades. Florida has a winning record against Georgia in 2 of those 9 decades. So I don't know if you just fell off the turnip truck or you're just mentally disabled or I don't know what it is, but I don't have any idea at all what it is. But Georgia beat you 3 years in a row in the early 2000s. Florida then won 3 in a row from like in 14, 15, and 16. And Georgia's won, 6 of the last 7, whatever it is. Georgia owns Florida all time. I don't know what. Well, you saved that one for close to the end of the stream, didn't you? You might win dumbest comment of the stream because people are running out of time, and that one was way up there, buddy. That one was way up there. Georgia never beat Florida until 2017. Fucking idiot. Damn. Yeah, 5-star dummy. I need to make a 5-star dummy thing
That would be amazing.
to go along with the 5-star caller. 5-star dummy. I need to make a 5-star dummy stinger. Should I make one right now? Fuck it. Let's make one right now. I'm gonna make one right now. I'm gonna make a 5-star just for you, Florida man. No, I don't want that. I'm gonna make you a 5-star dummy. Just for you. Just for you. Don't worry, it won't take too long. Let me pull up Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro. 5-star dummy. This is just for you, Florida man. This is just for you, Florida man. Let's see. Import. Let's go with this. See what I think this is. Let's see. What do I have here? What do we have here? What do we have here?
5-star caller.
Yeah.
5-star caller.
All right. Yep. Now we're just gonna change that to 5-star dummy. Hold on. Let's. What do we need to do? What do we need to do here? Let's do this. All right. Yep. Put that there. What are we doing? Dang. Okay. All right. Yep. All the way out there like that. 5-star dummy. Yep. This is going to be good. Thank you for the inspiration, Florida man. Thank you for the inspiration. Florida man. Text. Dummy. There we go. Dummy. Let's go with. Does this look good? What happened? How in the hell? That does look good. Damn, Jaden Daniels incomplete. Dang. 5-star dummy. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Yes. All right. So far, so good, people. I'm working on it. Good things take time. All right, let's try this. Let's try this. Here we go. 5-star dummy. Five-star dummy. All right, yeah, that might work actually. A effects, studio. Oh, yeah, this would be good. Thank you for the inspiration, Florida man. Let's try that. 5-star dummy. There we go. I like that. I like that. 5-star dummy. Five-star dummy. Oh, man, this is the problem with editing. Like, you always are constantly thinking of something else you can do. So let's throw this in at the end. Let's throw this in at the end. Why not? Where is it? Is this it? I don't know if this is right. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. 5-star dummy. What are we doing here now? No one knows. What am I looking for? Okay, no. These aren't the droids I'm looking for. That's the droid I'm looking for. Found it. Five-star dummy. There we go. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay? How many people clicked off the stream while I was doing this? I'm not watching. What am I doing? I'm not watching this guy do this. Well, yeah, you are. It'll be worth it. Trust me. It'll be worth it. I'll make it worth your while. Hold on. No, it wasn't 20 minutes to find it. I had to make it. I had to make it. I had to make it. Dummy. All right, somebody type something stupid. Shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be too hard. Captain Crunch is really good. That's debatable. Roxy J says, already not looking forward to next week. Yeah, not a good performance. Not what you're looking for if you're LSU to try to build some confidence heading into the Georgia game. Brian Brenner, thank you for the super chat. Derek B91, thank you for the super chat. Lou, will you put South Carolina helmet on top of the taters tomorrow? I can't. There's not enough room. I never should have started the helmet on top of the helmet deal. There's only enough room to do the helmet on top of the helmet deal on the Big 12 shelf on the very top. There's not enough room on these other shelves to do that. So I'll have to come up with a different way to humiliate the taters. But don't worry. I will come up with something. He might be a 5-star dummy, but he has a 5-star heart. Dummies don't have hearts. They're plastic and rubber and shit. Michael Grubb says, turn Florida man upside down in chat. Yash Shrivastava, thank you for the super chat, says, what's your pick on UJ taking the Natty this year? They're mine and everyone else's pick to win the Natty right now. According to me, Stetson Bennett might be the QB who take it 2 years in a row. In my book, they're being sloppy for no reason. Nikki C., thank you for the super chat. Do you agree the Big Ten should get rid of divisions? Okay, we're caught up there. Tennessee is going to the playoffs. 5-star dummy. Oh, God. LSU smelling like corn dogs would be an improvement. Damn, Marie. Is it that bad, huh? Can Bama make the playoffs? Jesus. 5-star dummy. What about a small shelf of shame? That's not a bad idea, Funky Fudge. That's not a bad idea at all. Bama fans, you're not in the playoff. Get some help. Yeah, I agree with Michigan man Jason. Lou, you're going to be the next 5-star dummy when Georgia loses. Well, people have been saying that since week 1. Yet here I am, the smartest man on the internet. Oh, boy. Cadets are rushing the field. Now, this is for beating LSU. Now, that's silly. That's almost as dumb as when Clemson rushed the field today after they lost to South Carolina. I'm sorry. If you're a Clemson fan and you're at a Clemson game in Clemson and Clemson loses to anybody, you shouldn't rush the field. But if you're a Clemson fan and you're at a Clemson game at Clemson and you lose to South Carolina and you rush the field, you know what that makes you? 5-star dummy. Yes. No, those were not South Carolina fans. Clemson rushes the field, win or lose. Win or lose. It's the most ridiculous tradition in all of college football. So Bama can't give Georgia a game? No, Bama can't give anybody a game that they're not playing. So no, they can't. UJ is going to lose eventually, and I feel for you on all the heat you're going to get. I don't know why, Choo-Choo Man. I'm not soft as shit like you are. I've been on here doing this since 2014, and believe it or not, UGA has lost games in that time frame. And guess what I did? The same thing I'm doing now, dummy. See what it is? Other people like you, Choo-Choo Man, are so soft that when your team loses, you run and hide because you can't take it. So you assume that other people can't take it either. I've been doing this a long time. Let me ask you something, Choo-Choo Man. And I mean this, and I'm serious. Let's say the average Uncle Lou video gets 10 or 15, 20,000 views. Okay? If Georgia loses a game, what do you think is going to happen with the next video I do? What do you think is going to happen? Lou, once Georgia goes back to back, act like you're the shit forever. They don't got nothing on you. Clemson and Tennessee making South Carolina like a top 4 team. Well, not top 4, but those are two embarrassing losses. Us dogs are just now tasting success. We losing a game here or there is nothing new to us. Yeah. Chop, chop, man. But, Lou, who have y'all played? Nobody. There is nobody Georgia can play. That's the reality. There is nobody Georgia can play. Look. We're going to beat the DNA out of LSU next weekend. And you know what everyone's going to say? LSU ain't no good. Nobody care you beat LSU, they ain't no good. After they spend all week telling me LSU is going to beat us. So that's just the way it goes. And then when we beat Southern Cal in the first round of the playoffs, you know what they're going to say? Oh, look at Lou. Beats a Pac-12 team and thinks he did something. It's the same thing over and over again. It's the same thing over and over again. We could beat the Buffalo Bills. You know what they'd say? Oh, well, I bet you couldn't beat them in Buffalo. It's just how they are. It's how people are. Nice to have an easy path. Dogs couldn't beat Bama. What? Dogs couldn't beat Bama. 5-star dummy. Dogs couldn't beat Bama. Saban never hurts me. He always has Bama ready most of the time. Most of the time, keyword. Keyword there. Notre Dame calming back. I don't know what calming means. Lou, Ole Miss beating UGA next year. 5-star dummy. Can Bama make the playoffs? 5-star dummy. Jumping in late, where your Georgia Tech videos from today? I was at the game today. Bama always beats the Dogs. 5-star dummy. Literally beat you last time we played. Will Stetson transition from QB to head coach? 5-star dummy. Chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla. That's true. Georgia Tech played a way harder schedule than Georgia. 5-star dummy. LSU -8 over Georgia. 5-star dummy. LSU is going to be a 20-point underdog. Should Ohio State be in the playoffs? If TCU or Southern Cal loses, they'll be the 4 spot. Trucking with Jeter says cigarettes are bad. Yeah, I think everybody pretty much agrees on that. Even the people that make cigarettes agree with you on that. I think Tennessee bounced back pretty good against Vandy. Yeah, what an impressive win that was. Jackson State is better than Georgia. 5-star dummy. Lou, I think 2 teams is better than 4, but I believe since it's already ruined, 12 is better than 4. 5-star dummy. Georgia will not make a bowl game next year. 5-star dummy. Chances we start a 5-star QB next year, Lou. 5-star dummy. There's a better chance of you starting. Miami Hurricanes are going 15-0 next year. Let's bet. 5-star dummy. If UJ doesn't win the Natty, they should fire Kirby Smart. 5-star dummy. Florida winning the SEC next year under year 2 with Sunbelt Billy. 5-star dummy. That might have been the world's first 6-star dummy. All right, I got to get out of here. Your season is over video will be out tomorrow. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday weekend, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good morning in that too, and also 5-star dummy.